Welcome to session 32? Is that correct? Is it the 32nd time we're doing this? I think it is. It is. It is the 32nd time we were doing this.
Hold on, I got another 4 minutes in this video, so you're gonna have to
Yeah,
shut up.
but Big Mama has been slayed, and you're actually a gecko fly frog combination, so you can't watch your YouTube video right now. You guys can hear the ambience, right? I'm streaming Chrome.
Not over the Even What a Shark Was Dead Part 2.
Are
Okay.
you currently recording already?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't mess with Bob then in case
Yeah.
it plays loud music.
And don't dox me. Alright. The frog
He lives at.
is dead. Malakai, the
Lots of
swarm
stuff
of frogs that were attempting to jump on you all scatter in chaos as a cacophony of croaks wails out across this echoey cavern. They scatter into the various nooks and crannies of the cave, attempting to escape your wrath. They become very disorganized.
Can I use Mage Hand and just grab one?
That would be rude, but you are allowed to do that. You use Mage Hand, and the little frog gets a little shriveled up, like it's grabbed around the neck and just kind of starts squirming.
Yep. I'm just gonna take it with us as proof.
Okay. Are you keeping it at an arm? Wait a minute. Are you inside of Big Mama?
I'm
Oh,
under it.
you're under Big Mama. I forgot. Well, Malakai, there's currently a frog about 10 feet away from you that your mage hand is grabbing. Floppletup is being crushed by the weight of Big Mama, and Vesper is standing in the middle of the pool. Yeah.
Right, well, I'm not the strongest guy, but I'm going to attempt to,
I'm going to give him the help action.
Oh, but of course.
um,
And you're going to roll for me a strength check with a comedically high DC.
Comedically high DC, great.
wait, hold on. There must be a way. You good to roll for me, or?
Oh, I can. I will roll a strength check with advantage against the comedically high D. All right, well, that's a nat 20, so never mind. I was going to be like, he's going to have to roll a bunch of, and he's going to waste half an hour of real game time. But nope, never mind. Malakai, with the strength of a mother whose child is trapped underneath the wreckage of a burning car, and Big Mama rolls over, and Blopotop is able to breathe air.
I'm a frog.
Not quite, but yes.
Alright.
No further comments?
Ew.
That's it. So,
John is
Malakai...
He's fighting a
Patreon
bot
bot.
in animemes.
Malakai...
He's losing.
Malakai He-Man lifts a frog off of his corpse. You stand up. There's like 10 seconds of silence, and you just go, ew. That's in character. That checks out.
Okay.
I crawl out from under the frog.
Yep.
I like Malakai's idea of proof, but I think we need something a little bit better. So can I open the mouth of Big Mama and cut the tongue out?
Of course. Roll for cutting tongue, please.
I give him.
What
Can I give him the help action?
Thank you. What do I do
But
here?
of course, we'll just roll your help. Just roll your cut tongue check. It's based on dexterity, of course.
Do I have proficiency?
How many tongues have you cut before?
Gosh, I feel like that number isn't 0.
Well, it's gotta be.
It's getting sassy.
It's gotta be at least. It's gotta be at least. Can we stop messing with the bot? It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. This is what happens when Discord takes our bots away from us. All right. Anyway,
Doing the man.
just roll a d20 with advantage. It's not like the tongue is gonna fight back with its dex check.
But it might.
And it does.
Oh, that's gonna be 2d. Okay, just 1d20 and then another, because I can't. If I roll 2, it's just gonna add them.
That is true.
Well, they're both bad.
The tongue is big, meaty, and wet, and full of acid. What are you trying to cut it with?
A dagger.
The dagger is rusting and being eaten away by the acid.
Just wipe it off. It'll be good.
The dagger is not in a condition to be wiped off and used. The dagger is, in fact, unusable.
If it's covered in rust, that's like you stab somebody, you give them tetanus.
Oh,
Right. A chemical.
oopsies.
It's a weapon.
I
now.
forgot. Oh, that's where my knife is. It just fell. And now I know where it
Covered in
is.
rust.
It is not, but yours is, and you take 4 acid damage.
Oh
was-
no!
Are you dead now?
Not yet.
Keyword,
That
yeah.
would be funny if you lift in, cut.
And then just bow.
Oh, there goes the adrenaline.
So,
Well, I'm gonna stop doing that unless I can get all the way through with the busted dagger before it explodes. I'm guessing not.
well, you can certainly try.
Nope, not gonna try.
All
that.
right. Gentlemen?
Yes. Oh, we wanted proof, right? And it's very big, you said?
Yeah.
Oh.
In fact, so big that you're wondering how in the world it squeezed out of the cave.
Can we look for another way out?
You may. Perceive me.
Okay.
Or use your passive. What's the DC? Let's find out. Bloop, 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 bloop. Never mind. You don't need to roll.
Oh, okay.
The DC was 2.
Oh,
And so, you notice a very large path stemming off from the dark. Clearly another way out of the cave. Because Big Mama has to have some way out, obviously. Now, would you like to investigate this path?
But of course.
Excellent. Now,
How much light is in here?
didn't you cast light on something?
Blood puts up shield.
My
and-
shield.
Yeah, so there's a lot of light all over the place. What it is there's a ledge that is about 15 feet tall that you have to climb, and then there's a big opening. So it's a climb, big opening, and it looks like pretty rocky terrain. So you guys are going to have to make some either acrobatics or athletics checks. Get out of here.
Wait, why do we need to do that? I was writing notes.
You don't have to, but that's the other way out.
Okay.
How about one of us goes back and brings them to see the proof, rather than we try to get the frog out? Or one of us stays here. Or I don't think the frog's gonna go anywhere. I just don't trust this place.
I don't trust frogs.
Right. Wait, wrong accent. Exactly.
All right, Isaiah.
Yeah.
So, what are we doing?
Well, I suppose we could just bring them to see. Though I don't know if they'd want to come in.
Or we could take 10 minutes and I could cast send in. I mean, God, what is this?
Visions of another character flashing in
Oh
Malakai's
yeah,
head as
Malakai,
he's
that sounds like a great idea. Oh.
suffering from multiple
My bad.
personality disorder.
No, I could take a few moments and contact them and let them know that we managed to defeat Big Mama.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to sit in a dark, damp cave full of acid
There's plenty
frogs?
of light.
with light that is in fact repelling the frogs. The frogs.
Is there poison in the water?
It's diluted, but don't drink.
Chemicals.
But don't drink the water.
Okay.
It makes you
Frogs
forget.
gay.
Don't drink the water.
They put something in it to make you forget.
So I'll prepare my sending spell.
And so he spent 10 real life minutes. So check back with you guys at 8:54. All right. Meanwhile, Grudger is being carried off. This is a real thing that is happening now. So, I have maps, so you get to enjoy the glorious green background of green. Well, I guess I could do this. Check this out. We're just going to go over here, and we're going to pretend that it is in fact east, when in reality it is in fact south. But we don't need to worry about that. You are escorted through a very dense clearing of forest. You're essentially being lifted up by your front hands, flown by two sprites, both who have bow and arrows and war paint or something on their faces. And Ripple Timpleton is in fact with you, but further behind. Now, eventually, you get to a very interesting section of forest. It is largely cleared, and it's a pretty small clearing. But there's a whole city in this clearing. Now, of course, this is a city for ants, in other words, sprites. All along the trees, intricate carvings, houses carved into the logs, into the wood, and notably, there is a throne at the rear side of this clearing. Well, on the eastern side, actually. And this is not a sprite-sized throne. This is like a normal thing-sized throne. So truly curious. I put that on the wrong layer, didn't I? I did. What's this? Now you're eventually set down and put in a cage, which is a very small cage. It feels pretty big, but everything feels big right now. This is a very strange experience. Ripple Timpleton flies off into the distance, and you are left with a series of conversations echoing around you in Sylvan. 4 or so sprites fly up to you carrying little spears, just prowling around your cage, looking you up and down. You don't speak Sylvan, do you?
Not if I activate my helmet.
You do not currently have your helmet, and if you did, you would be too small to wear it.
Yeah.
You're never too small to wear a helmet. It just becomes a house.
That's true. I'm in
That
my house.
is
I activate
true.
my house.
No, you don't have your helmet, do you?
I activate a house.
You don't have Leonard's tiny hut or whatever. What's that guy's name? The tiny hut guy. Google, look up tiny Leomond.
Leomond, if I'm not mistaken.
I think.
Pretty sure his name is
Leomund.
Gundar.
It's
No, I
Leomund.
think. Yeah, I think that second O should be a U.
Yeah, correct. Leomund, M-U-N. You are not Leomund. You
bad.
do not have a tiny hut. Jacob is cringe. Everyone make fun of him. End of story. All right.
The spell that could have saved Ventosh's life. If
Yep.
only I had cast it.
Yep. So, what would you like to do in this little prison that you're in? After a little bit of discussion, a pixie appears, and there seems to be a bit of a heated conversation between the sprite and the pixies. And eventually, the pixie casts another spell. Make a wisdom saving throw, please.
I mean,
Or
I'm so
just
good
or
at
just
this.
give up. You can do either, but if you want to resist it.
I'm so good.
That might actually be good enough.
15.
I think that succeeds, but I gotta pull up the thing and check.
No, don't.
So you want to stay... Let me get this clear. You want to stay as a gecko fly frog abomination.
No.
But you succeeded the wisdom... I told you you could give up.
For you. No.
Well,
Would you like to... Let me re-clarify, alright? You don't know for certain what's about to happen. They're clearly arguing about you. And the pixie's clearly going to cast something on you. Do you want to resist or not?
No.
So you're not going to resist. That wasn't really an intelligible answer. Are you using the 15 or are you subbing in a 0?
Ooh, what was 0? That's crazy.
Answer the question.
I rolled a 0.
Okay, great.
Get me out of here.
Now-
I don't want to be a frog pixie.
Now, you,
Dubagon.
you are hoping that they're going to uncast a polymorph spell and that you will likewise be turned into your normal form. Although you are in a very tiny cage, so you're not sure how that would work. But regardless, it becomes clear that you were just turned into a normal frog.
You would go through all that just to trick the man again.
You are currently a tree frog.
He's torturing me.
However,
He's enjoying it.
you are now small enough that if you so wished, you could simply walk or jump between the bars of your cage.
When the time is right. I begin to fashion a gun out of the parts of the cage.
You may attempt to do so with triple disadvantage. 1, because you don't know what a gun is, and 2, because you don't have opposable thumbs.
It's a good thing I've been waiting for this.
Uh-huh.
I can't set something as triple disadvantage.
That's unfortunate.
If something is triple disadvantage, does that mean he rolls 2 dice or 3?
3.
I got a 10.
Yeah, but did you consider triple disadvantage?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, 2 extra dice or 3
Yeah,
extra
but did you
dice?
consider that
I have a gun now.
you fail? So there's much discussion going on around you, and eventually the good news is a familiar face shows itself. Robin walks up, and while the sprites seem to be escorting him, you are uncertain if they are able to communicate. From what it appears, Robin is still unable to speak, and whatever the sprites are saying and directing him to do is somewhat unclear. Robin is just going along with it.
Take off your shoes.
Eventually, they direct him to sit on a stump. He looks over and sees the cage that you're in, and sort of squints to see, like, is that you or is that just literally a frog?
I tell him I'm Pickle Rick.
You ribbit.
Really?
All right. Would you like to do anything?
I'll bide my time.
All right. How much time would you like to bide?
35 seconds.
Excellent. You speak.
go.
Frog attention span.
You speak Elvish, right?
Occasionally.
Okay. Cool.
But yes, I do. It's
So-
just flat out.
An old sprite with a Dr. Robotnik style mustache begins walking up to you from behind the throne, a building further down there. You couldn't quite see it, but he's actually not using his wings. His wings appear to be clipped or damaged, and he walks up to you with a cane, and he begins speaking Sylvan to you.
A Ricky Ricky Rock. A Ricky Ricky Rock.
He then speaks to you in Elvish. Is this a tongue with which you are familiar?
Ribbit.
Please, 1 ribbit for yes and 2 for no.
Ribbit.
Why have you come to our land? Wait, no, I can only ask yes or no questions.
Give me your entire life's backstory.
Allow me to read. Silence. I must think. Were I to reverse your spell, would you pose any danger to us?
Is it still 1 yes for run ribbit? For
Yes.
No.
Yes, it is.
You just ask that.
Yes.
Ribbit.
Roll for persuasion.
Frog persuasion?
Yes.
I'm really good at this, guys. I did spend a lot of years being a frog. I got an 8.
And he goes, I'm not so sure. Many adventurers have come to this town.
I would like to point out that he's basing his entire perception on whether he trusts me or not
correct.
by me saying ribbit.
Correct.
There's literally nothing to interpret from that.
Correct. He goes, I do want to believe you, but it is difficult to interpret frog speech. Yet, should I turn you into your true form,
It's called Frogginese, come on.
it could be dangerous. We simply do not have the facilities for holding people of your stature. The bear I am already uncertain of, although I believe he has come to our abode before. The bear responds and sort of nods. Yes. So, how many is your band? 1 ribbit for each member, please.
Okay. How many people are in our band?
Well,
What is the full number?
well, as you
Like
can
7,
see by this
right?
screen.
At least 307. I think
A
add
little more than 7.
like 18 to that, so like 325.
I'm
It's a
gonna
solid.
say 23 ribbits.
23 ribbits. 23. Our men counted more than that. I believe they reported... What did they report? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Our men reported upwards of 30.
I'm gonna shrug my frog shoulders.
Frog soldiers.
Yes. Many of these people, they are not your friends, are they? Are
I'm
they
gonna
all your...
shrug my fall soldier.
Okay. What else? You had some interesting items in your possession, I was told. Including a helmet. Is this correct?
Ribbit?
Not a very confident ribbit. This...
If only there was nuance to my answer that could be displayed with if I didn't have to speak in ribbits. However, because I can only say yes or no, the answer is yes. I did have a helmet.
Ribbit 3 times faster
This helmet, is it magical?
Ribbit.
Yes, I presume so. Is it a weapon?
I mean, he's a male, right? So yeah.
You can't. No. Stop. Stop.
He's taking control of the narrative. He's not letting me be me.
Is it a weapon? I will not be offended if you say yes. I simply wish to know. Oh, it's not a weapon.
I was about to say, I only ribbit. What does this guy want me to say?
Very well, very well.
What is truly a weapon?
Do you feel that... I have an idea. Are you having trouble communicating?
Ribbit.
I think... Yes, I have an idea.
Speak with animals or
I
something.
I do have to speak with animals. One moment. I'm going to get a colleague.
You understood that part, but not anything else.
Because you can't speak with animals. Pay attention.
Yeah, right. The
Yeah,
old
you can't speak with animals, and then I said, if only he'd speak with animals.
the old sprite comes back with the sprite in a funny pointed hat.
How funny though, on a scale of like 3 to 9.
It's like the classic blue pointy hat with silver stars on it, so it's kind of drip.
Also, it's like a gnome.
Yes. He waves his little sparkly wand around upon you, and then the old sprite says, "There, is that better?"
When I sneeze, hella.
Are you trying to speak?
I will speak now.
Alright, what are you gonna say?
Yes.
Ah, very
Yo,
good.
actually, what if I just said rivet?
It's too late. It's too late. You already said yes. Very well.
All right, rewind.
Information warfare.
Alright,
I'd
now
like
I
to
can
use
actually
my
ask.
rewind.
Yeah. Okay. How badly do you want to rewind for a
Not at
joke?
all.
Okay, great. Alright, the guy says, now we can actually ask what I wanted to ask. So why are you and your party here?
We're following the bear guy. He said this way.
And why has the bear brought you here?
Because we're on the run.
On the run, you say? On the run from what, mind I ask?
And, you know, the government.
Oh, yes, the government. We hate the government here.
Then he dabs him up.
I didn't know you would chill like that. Roll for persuasion with advantage.
Because he was chill like that. Whoa, does a 9 do it?
Not exactly, but you've definitely piqued his interest. He
I
goes,
rolled a 1 and a 5.
We've had many troubles with the governments of men, hence why we seek refuge in the forest. It is truly a much more forgiving landscape, even though it is filled with wild and foul beasts. These beasts, wild as they are, they have no malicious intent. They eat only to survive. They kill only to protect their young. They are not so wild and unpredictable as the folly of man. Tell me, what government are you running from?
The Lucine one.
Oh, yes, of course. They're the ones with the funny hats? No. Wait,
Sure.
what year is it? You know what year it is, actually?
Do you need to know the year?
You need to know the year, Nick?
Hold on.
Check his notes. You check his notes.
Here, I messaged you a question.
you just messaged me what year is it?
Well, the last two
The
are
year is
32.
double Zeta is 0039. The one you
Nope.
I don't think so.
1632.
Oh,
Yay!
so we haven't interacted with Lucine in 40 years, perhaps. They had these very silly helmets back then. They were supposed to protect the soldiers and the foot soldiers, but it ended up, it caused them problems with their neck. And it left their neck exposed. They didn't have chainmail back then. It was a very silly design. We exploited it to great effect. Our archers were able to nail them in the blind spots or in the blank spots on the neck multiple times. It was a great war. Anyway. Yes, we do not like Lucine either. Although I must say, have they gotten better or worse in the past 40 years? I'm going to guess worse.
I literally have no comparison to make.
Well, how old are you?
Sure, worse. Well, that's where things get difficult.
You seem to be a man up in your years. So my scout
Well-
said, although you have pointy ears, are you an elf? Or are you a
I'm
half-elf?
I'm actually.
The frog has pointy ears.
Oh crap! I updated my. Age
No, this was
to
before he was
actually
turned
my
into a
real
frog.
ages, so now I don't really remember what my other age was.
Like just subtract 20 or something like
Subtract 40.
that? 40.
22. I'm actually 22. However,
A gray-haired half-elf is 22.
there was a ghost. Now I'm 62.
Oh, yeah, that actually checks out.
He goes, no, I got my ghost tome here. That is, it says it right here in ghost tome number 2.
Yeah, the pointy hat guy goes, oh, yeah, ghosts can do that.
Sometimes I do that.
Oh, yo, we got
So-
Monster Manual Volume 2 of
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got
If
Monster
you-
Manual number 1. I love his
The guy-
work.
The guy with the pointy hat pulls out a little book and he goes, oh yeah, that's called Horrified Visage. It recharges in 4 to 5 turns when he looks at it. And he gives him the whole description of the monster's stat block. Notes back, oh yes, I'm very familiar with this. We used to have some
What's a
ghosts in this
turd?
wood."
Well, you see, the man's timer was broken, so when he turned it over, all the sand would fall out in 6 seconds.
Yeah. Very
One
strange.
turn.
Yo, I found a nail.
So, what is it that you seek from us?
I don't know. I'm not the brains of this operation. I just do things.
Unfortunately, Robin is unable to communicate with us. He had stopped by once before in need of healing. He was physically wounded. We took him in. While we were worried he was a wild beast, that is initially what... Well, we went to tend to him. Or we thought he was a wild beast. But we quickly discovered that he was intelligent. And we were wondering... well, clearly... you find otherwise?
Clearly in it.
Well, regardless, do you know more about him? Is he awakened by some primal magic, or...?
I met him and I start counting on my fingers.
You
And it gets up to 1
Yeah.
a day ago.
Oh, I see. Then you're as blind as us.
I actually can see
Yes.
very well. Thank you very much.
Ah, but I
Oh,
meant...
Trevor, did I tell you who I was sending the sending to?
Nope.
Rimple Templeton.
Ah, perfect. Great.
Ah, yes.
Ripple Templeton. Oh, well, 10 minutes
The
have
most
passed.
legendary warrior and
So-
the president.
20 minutes has passed.
Yeah, but only 10 minutes in the cave. Alright, so have Vesper and Bloppletub just been waiting for Malakai to, like, do
Alright, I
random
shoot
things?
the guy.
Okay. No.
How long have
gun-
we been waiting since Frog came off?
10 minutes.
With the gun I made.
So in that time, hold
Mhm.
on, hold on.
He's gonna be like, in that time, I wrote a novel.
Hold on.
Yeah, called Monster
hold
Manual
on,
Volume 3.
In that time, I cast Prayer of Healing,
Okay.
and we all heal
Oh,
for 22 hit points each.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's
I now
pretty
have
good, Nick.
24 hit
That's pretty
points.
good. I like that.
amazing.
If only there was somebody else who was almost dead that could really have used that.
Yeah, but he's
Can't
probably a
think of anyone.
frog, so it's fine.
So I gotta read something.
So are you
Like,
only
heal.
sending to Rimple Templeton, right? Because it's the only one target. Correct?
Who, the sending?
Yeah.
No, I thought you were talking about the prayer of healing. Sorry.
No.
Yes, I just sent it to him.
It's a her. Thank you very much.
I mean, I sent it to
Sexist.
her.
It's actually a robot, so
Can't
And
believe
I say, your monsters, we've defeated your monster.
send a message just as your mom.
you. Ah,
Got it.
Okay.
Your
you-
monster is defeated. Please come to the cave so you can see it. It's too big for us to bring it out.
Oh, very good.
They're gonna get eaten by a frog.
All right. After a few short minutes, you hear from the entrance of the cave.
Hello, is it safe to come in?
Watch out for the frogs.
Watch
The
out for
tiny frogs.
George.
Where are you? It's
I'm
dark.
gonna crawl out.
Are you going the new way or the old way?
The new way? Whoa.
You didn't know about the new way?
I gotta go.
Yeah, the new update just released. Do a acrobatics or an athletics check.
New updates
Why
for
do we-
please. New
Why do we
way.
need to make a check to go out it? What's wrong with it?
It's 15
15
feet up.
Varies.
9.
Oh.
It's very
You
slippery.
too heavy and it wet.
It's
I'll,
covered in oil.
I'll just fly up to it.
You can do that. That is allowed.
He just did
All right.
that.
Vesper flies up and out, and then realize there's like a 20-foot drop down this little, conveniently large frog-shaped cavern. You're just imagining what Big Mama would have to do to spill out of this. It would be like she would be like completely pressed up against the wall and just slurp out, and then crawl
Bounce.
back up. Yeah. But you head back down, and at the entrance of the cave, there's Rimple Templeton flying up. He says,
Oh, hello. Is she really dead?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. She just seemed to poop out more and more frogs every day. I don't even know how that works.
You don't understand. Okay.
Whoa, the Rick Dom dope.
All right, Rimple Templeton heads to the entrance and says,
Oh, wow. She actually is dead.
He kind of pokes it.
Oh. Well, this is surprising. Did we say we were going to pay you anything? I don't remember.
No, but we said you'd be willing to hear us out and perhaps help us.
Oh, yes. Well, this is the first time we sent anyone into this cave and they came back, so... Right. Okay. I'll be at the entrance.
He's now at the entrance.
If
I,
only
like-
I had a crafting skill.
Only.
Is there someplace I can tie a rope up here to make it easier for the others?
Yeah.
I'll do that.
You do that.
He did that.
The DC has now been lowered substantially. Congratulations.
I roll for hook.
If you still fail, I'm going to make fun
11.
of you. All right, you didn't fail.
Just breaks.
It's just like it's too heavy. It just.
I'm gonna release the frog that I was holding with mage hand,
What?
All right. The frog.
and as I let it go, I'm going to say, "Hey,
Mhm.
be good."
You're just looking at you, kid.
The frog does not respond.
All right.
All right. Are you
Frog
gonna make your little
scream.
acrobatics check to climb the rope? Or are you gonna go out the other way? All right. You know what you're doing. You are now all exiting the cave. Now this is like a 15-20 foot drop. You can kind of use your hands and fingers to minimize the fall, but it is a drop. So you all
Roll for drop?
sequentially go down. I mean, if you want to, but
I got a nature check of 13.
for the drop,
Yeah.
you drop in a natural sort of way, as opposed to an unnatural sort of way.
A
So
natural type
congrats.
way.
Alright. Ripple Templeton is at the front and
I would have
says,
gotten the rope back just for.
"Oh yes, I'm sure you would." Alright. Ripple Templeton says,
Got that
Follow me.
odd taxi type beat.
he says,
This is actually very important. I'm glad you killed it. Frogs kept coming out of that cave and eating people. It was
Yes.
gross and terrible. I lost my cousin.
Also, you seem to have our friend, and you changed him into a small creature.
Oh yes, I can take you to him.
Thank you.
He is still a small creature. But I'm sure that will no longer be the case once you explain that you've killed Big Mama. This
They
is a
have a red
glorious
bird
day
now,
for our
so-
kingdom.
alright, she
Hmm.
takes you through the
Beautiful.
clearing. And you arrive at the scene into a massive city. She says, please stop here. Watch out for everything. There are buildings all over the ground, little hills. Some of them are like little ramshackle sheds, and then there's some more, as I said, intricate buildings carved into the trees and like massive trunks that have been intricately, essentially dug into and chiseled, probably with the tiniest little tools to make these little open air houses, as well as some closed off. In the center of town, you see past a few of the buildings is a large cage, which is in like the town square. And in that cage is a tree frog, currently, and behind it, you can't see it yet, but they walk out, a sprite in a funny pointy hat, and an old sprite with the Dr. Robotnik mustache. And he walks through the town square up to Rimple Templeton. He says,
Oh, so you actually killed Big Mama?
I kind of gesture to Vesper and Blobbletop that we should, sort of bow and just greet the person.
I don't bow. Yeah, we killed it.
Oh, very good. Oh, thank you. Yes. Well, Ripple Templeton, did we say we were going to help them if they killed Big Mama? I think so. Oh, well, I guess that's only fair. I thought they were going to die. Well, I did too. I told them that. That's very strange. I guess they actually know what they're doing. Huh. We're used to seeing level 2s and 3s roll around in this for the early side quest missions. So, what are you all, level 6? 7?
About, yeah.
That makes sense. Yes, most people find us early on in the campaign, so no worries. It's a great help to us.
Where are we supposed
supposed to fight them earlier in the campaign?
No. I just think this is a funny joke that it's funny. Okay. He says,
Well, my scouts inform me that you have many other members of your party, but they are not on our grounds as of yet, and they are under watch. They have set up camp for the night. You are free to stay. Is there something we could help you with?
Well, there's two things immediately that you can help us with, and one that I would like to offer our assistance as well, if possible.
very well.
So number one, turning our friend back to his normal half-elfy self.
Oh, yes, that can be done easily. Yes.
Yes, and I say thank
Sure
you.
about that one.
I say thank you in Elvish. And then also I say, I know that you have not always had the best of relations with Lucine,
Yes.
but our goal is to change that, to change the rulership of Lucine. And I can guarantee you that the person who will take charge of it will be a lot better to you than those in the past.
Well, that is all well and good, but you must understand that the goals of men and the goals of the sprite have never aligned. It's nothing personal, it's just that men are horrid creatures that are a plague upon any land they inhabit.
We're libertarians.
And we're libertarian anarchists. We don't like the government.
And while this is true, I remember a time where Lucine was simply a place of magic. And in that, I find we can find things in common.
No, this is very true. Back when my grandfather was telling me stories when I was a little spriteling, I remember these grand tales of wizards of a high order that walked into the forest to learn from us, and we shared our knowledge. And then eventually they just, well, they stopped coming back. They started learning on their own, but the things that they taught themselves, learned, and evolved were self-serving. Not to protect nature and life, but to conquer and destroy. And that's when we decided that men are stupid and we're not talking to them anymore. I'm sure you understand.
I do understand that. But what if we could help foster the old ways? You encourage those old ways. All we would need for you to do to help us, really, is to help our band, and not just this group that's with us now.
Yes.
We have a group of quite a larger number, but we are constantly on the run from the current king who seeks to get rid of us. If you were able to help us with some sort of way that we could move around quickly without being detected, I promise you, as soon as the new leader takes the throne, we will work on either keeping your section of this area completely safe and protected, untouched by man, or if you desire to work together with us in some way to bring back the old ways, we will do so.
Roll for persuasion. That's pretty good. Miss Sprite nods and says,
Yes, I think this is a good idea. Now, we are limited in what we can provide you. Most of our tools and equipment are not quite your size, but we can easily provide you access to our lands. But where exactly is it you need to travel? And what lengths are you willing to go to be undetected?
I'm just gonna put us in a missile.
Well, we do have an army of about 300 plus. And we need to be able to traverse the length and breadth of Lucine when necessary. Our army can't stay in one place for too long.
What if I could get you access to a place that few men, even great magicians, have access to.
I look to Vesper and Blappletop and also to the frog. And I say, what do you all think?
Um,
I'm intrigued.
it's up to you. You're the diplomatic one. I don't see why not.
Well, I am intrigued as well. Yes, we are interested.
You know that in this forest, as you see, there are many fae. And I'm sure you know, as an educated man, where the fae come from.
Yes.
But did you know that there are direct links to the fae through this very forest?
Really?
They have been hidden, carefully, meticulously. Only the dryads of the forest can guide you there. Now, should we be able to procure you a guide to one of these access points, she would be able to get you entrance into the Feywild, though once there, she could help you no longer. The section of the Feywild you enter is known as the Dark Forest.
It's called Australia.
It is also known as Australia.
No.
Alrighty, mate.
No.
Welcome to the Dark Wild.
No.
It's known as the Dark Forest.
He says he doesn't say the Australia part.
I rolled a history check for two things.
Mhm.
One, would I know a little bit about the Feywild and so?
Oh,
and,
you would have surface level information about it, yeah.
And two, am I familiar with Australia?
No on the Australia, yes on the Feywild.
Got it.
Okay. Now, the old sprite continues talking.
You see, the Feywild is not such... Well, how do I explain this? You see, there are many plains, and plains are like stretches of land that overlap. Interdimensional travel is a highly complicated and rare thing. Very few beings ever get to travel between dimensions, so I'm sure that, we have a few gaps to fill in.
This is a subtle reference the DM is making to the fact that we've already been to another dimension. The old sprite continues.
But basically, when you're going to the Feywild, you're not exactly physically moving into it. You're changing your plane. Much of the Feywild exists in this same physical space, but you may only access it through those key points. Notably, the section of the Feywild that we have access to is largely underground. Now, not all of the underground access points are also underground in the Feywild, but many of the links we have established are in caves, or the entrances to caves. Although, as I said, they cannot be revealed without a knowing entity such as a dryad to guide you to them. Should this be something you are willing to pursue, you could make it very far through the Feywild. You would not be detected by anyone on this plane. But the Feywild itself is full of dangers, and the Eladrin are still there in some twisted form.
I think we're willing to take the risk.
Well, if you are, and more importantly, if you get approval from the Queen, she may take you there. But it is not my decision. I am but one of the many elders. It is the Queen's final call. She will not return until morning, but if you wish to stay the night, you may gain her counsel there. And then. And also we can take your friend and make him not a frog anymore.
Oh, that'll be delightful.
Yes. Although, another thing that we could do is, should you not find reasonable accommodation in this forest, we could change it to a form more suitable to living upon our standards, at a smaller scale. Should you wish, of course. I imagine this may not be ideal, as your equipment would be largely useless.
So I'm guessing that means he would shrink us?
Yep.
Interesting, interesting.
But it would drop our armor and so.
It would change a lot of things.
Can I ask, would the queen be offended if we stayed in our regular forms to meet her?
Not to meet her, but staying overnight could be a dangerous thing. If you are being watched or sought after, we would prefer you not camp close to our village.
That is fair. And what of the group of 30 or so?
I'm not sure if we have the resources to convert all of them to forms suitable for living here. But it may be arranged.
Could you turn us back at a moment's notice?
Oh yes, that's a very simple process.
If it will give us protection and we could guarantee that all our men were able to be reduced in such a way, then I think it might be worth trying.
Well, it's not exactly only a reduction. It's, well, actually, I did get your name. What's your name, sir?
And then he turns back to the Grouger, who's currently a frog.
He can still speak, can't he? You need to recast it?
The guy in the pointy hat starts flipping through his book because Grouger's not responding.
Nick.
Nick,
I'm a frog.
he asked you your name.
I'm a frog man.
Uh-huh.
Am I still a frog?
Yeah. You gonna give me your name?
Man.
Frog. My old life's behind me now.
Very well. Anyway, you wouldn't exactly be shrunken. You would be more akin to this.
And then he gestures to Grouger.
Frog man.
Oh, you would change
Yes.
to. Okay, so it might be better if we camped a little ways away from here.
Yeah.
If we weren't frog men.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the kind offer. Is this something that you all would like to do? Because I would most likely not like to be a frog.
I mean, I'd rather go camp with the others than be a frog.
Yeah, I don't know about the whole frog thing. See, like I was just looking at our guy here.
It is no problem. I would simply recommend camping further away from our city then.
Okay. That we can do. What if we camped in that cave that the frog woman stayed in?
Yeah, it's all froggy in there.
One covered in acid. Hell yeah.
I suppose you
die.
could. It will certainly provide you excellent cover.
I think it might be worth it. We could clean it up a little spit shine.
We could turn this cave into a home.
A secret base
Well, frankly, now that
A
Big
secret
Mama,
home.
now that Big Mama is dead, should you wish to use that cave for the night, we may be able to clear out the rest of the toads.
Ah.
See, we would actually like to use that cave as our own fortress in case of emergencies, but that is when we first discovered Big Mama.
Well, that would be preferable. Thank you.
I will send a small legion to dispose of the remaining toads. Although, if you would, could you offer them a protecting presence?
Oh, absolutely.
You have a healer,
we could-
yes? Are you the healer, strange man with no face and blue eyes?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Would you mind going back into the cave and offering your protection?
Okay.
Ah, excellent. Then we shall have a home cleared for you within the hour. Or within 2 hours. Give or take 3 hours. All right.
Alright.
I will assemble a small legion to assist you.
And then he turns to one of the sprites guarding the cage. Oh, Grodger is let out.
I'm a frog man.
The cage is open. Would you like to hop over to your friends?
Sure.
You unfrog him.
Listen. Sorry about that. Our pixies they're being temperamental.
We can only do it once
He'll
a
be
day,
back.
so
He'll be back within the hour.
we need to recharge. So,
You can't unfrog him?
Well, I personally can't, and those who can, when they're in one of their moods.
well,
Have you
I
ever
mean, we did
tried
unfrog
reasoning
him.
with a pixie? It's not an easy task.
Well, bring one here.
You want to reason with a pixie?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the Harvard debate team.
Very well, if he's on the Harvard debate team, then bring over the pixie.
Alright. A pixie is brought over to you.
How big is it?
It's tiny. I don't like the implication of that question. Don't squash it like a bug.
Hey, can you undo this? I'm pointing at Nick.
No.
Hey.
What?
I point at the pixie. Are you making noise?
Huh?
Are you talking, Trevor?
Oh, yeah? Is it not coming through?
Your mouth is moving and nothing's coming out.
No, I went,
Yeah.
wait,
Oh, Chris does not like that.
it's not crisp. Crisp is off.
Your noise gate doesn't like that. Then.
Rip. I'm specifically going like, alright, fine. This pixie's a dude, and he's like, yeah. There, that'll get through. He's like, yeah. What?
Can you fix this? I point at Frog.
Nah, I already used my spell. I don't get back till like sunrise, dude.
What about someone else? There's more of you, right?
No.
Why not?
They don't want to talk to you.
Why not?
Oh, can you grab one that has a spell?
Nah, I don't have spells.
Wait, none of you have spells?
No, not anymore now. Went to bed.
What'd you all use it? Oh, make one up.
Pick one up. That's not how it works, bro.
Go wake one up and turn him on Frog.
Nah, bro, that's not how it works.
Come on, do it.
No.
Please.
Not for persuasion.
6.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no. 12.
Great. I'm gonna roll a d10 now. Oops, that landed on my leg. I would like you to make a melee attack against either Malakai, Bloppletup, or Grodger.
I'm Bloppletup.
Oh.
So,
I would like you to make a melee attack against either Vesper, Malakai, or Grodger.
With my
Oh
with
wait,
my mace or with my fist?
Oh my bad. It's randomly determined. Let me roll a d4 here.
Well, I got bad news.
Alright, you gotta kill the frog.
With my fist or with my mace?
Whichever you prefer.
my fist burns with rage. It's
Does an
divine
18
thunder
hit?
causing.
Yes, an 18 hits.
Wait,
I only have like 4 hit points.
Stick with the
wait.
first one.
roll initiative or something?
We're
No.
not in
Yeah,
combat.
I'm gonna fight back.
He said what?
We're not in
No,
combat.
you're not in combat.
Well, to
Alright,
like
my unarmed strike does 1 damage.
Oh, we get in
You
line
just-
to beat me up.
Congrats, you just punched the frog. Nick, you now have 3 hit points.
He actually
Whoa.
just crab claws just to
The pixie just
crush
starts
me.
going, idiot.
So we punch the pixie.
The pixie's
Wait,
like
I
the
have-
same size as Nick.
I
Yeah.
have weaponized frog attack. Hit him with my tongue. I'll take that as a yes.
Oh, are you trying to... It does not do damage.
But I ate the pixie.
You're trying to eat the pixie? Oh shoot, roll the hit, that might work. Roll the hit, please.
I like how Bubbletub just punched
Just
Nick in.
what
There's
would
no
I
indication
roll?
of it.
Roll like a normal attack roll. You don't have proficiency, just roll like a...
So just roll it.
roll a d20, yeah. We'll see if you break the AC.
Ooh, a classic 7.
No,
It is.
the pixie dodges you, and then it gets up real close to you, like, bro, what? Did you try to eat me, bro?
Or get really close to your camera with that.
Bro, did you just try to eat me, bro? Gets really mad. What did you roll? A 17? Yeah.
Oh,
that
he's right
hits.
there.
Yeah, that hits. Alright. You begin eating the pixie, and he begins screaming like. Alright.
I'm gonna let him go now, and
The
then I'm gonna.
sprites run up.
I'm doing that thing where I put my 2 fingers to my eyes, and then on him,
Yeah.
looking at him.
Okay. He begins like, what the heck is this ambience? Go away.
I'm scared.
Okay. The
Why is the
pixie.
ambient scared?
I don't know. The pixie crawls back, and he's like all wet and slobbery, and the other sprites are comforting him. He's like, oh. He's crawling back, and the other sprites are like, and Sylvan. And then the old sprite is just like, oh, settle down. And then
He's a frog. He's doing
they,
frog things.
they bring the pixie back over, and he says,
It's about time that little piss ant learned his lesson.
I didn't know you would chill like that.
All right. Well, that is why you don't reason with pixies.
Yeah, the Harvard debate team didn't
I
help.
don't think it'll work. I'm gonna dispel magic on Nick.
oh, that totally works.
I'm still
What level
on the
is the-
frog,
Is the spell?
like 0.
Doesn't matter.
Grabber turns into a man.
Alright.
What's
I'm
what
still
now?
in the
What are you
frog.
asking?
I'm still in the
said-
frog pose.
Never mind. It's not
Okay.
working.
Alright. Croucher's on the ground in like the frog pose.
Do I still have a frog mind though?
You never had a frog mind. Soldier Boy's infected by the flood. Oh no.
No, Soldier Boy.
Yo, watch me ride it, watch me roll. Alright. Roger is now a man. Alright.
Always was.
In the meantime, you hear the sound of rhythmic tapping from far away. It's very light tapping, so like a. And then you hear the fluttering of many wings.
It's like the wheels of an office chair.
It is not like the wheels of an office chair. It's like.
They bring the queen in on an office chair.
A legion of sprite warriors flies in with the sound of a low hummed pitch. That's right. There are 100 sprite warriors that I'm not drawing on the map.
Low hum to pitch.
Oh, a high hummed, a high
Low-pitched hum.
pitched buzz. How about that? There we go. That's what my brain was trying to say. That's right. Say hello to the Centurion Sprite and his legion of gamers. He rolls up in full combat gear with a tiny sword and scabbard and says, "We are here to help in clearing out the cave."
Alright. I'll follow you.
Very well. Say march! And then the little drummer boy in the front goes. This continues the entire way to the cave. Oh, I killed him. Alright, he's back.
Guys, before he gets to the cage.
Guys, before he gets to the cave. Alright. You are now brought into the entrance of the cave. And at this point, cease! The drumming stops. Upon your command.
What? I
Let's
start stabbing frogs. It's the only solution.
You heard him, men! Forward, Legion! Charge! Alright, roll for initiative.
12 massacred on the first charge.
15.
The
Alright.
frogs have weapons
Excellent.
now. And armor.
Alright, you're up first. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna walk until I find a frog.
I would like to kill a frog.
You find a clump of frogs.
Wow.
What would you like to do? They are being repelled by your light.
Oh, yeah, it's still up, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm just gonna start hucking sacred flames.
of course.
Closest frog. with this
I will
thing.
make a dex saving
That's right, I
throw.
forgot I gotta do the thing.
It got a nat 20, you're not hitting it.
Oh, no. Do I hit another frog?
No, you're in attack, you're in a turn order.
I mean, I miss, it just hits the wall.
Yeah,
And I thumbed up like a mega clump frog.
nah. However, thousands of tiny arrows fly out from behind you, like 100 tiny arrows fly out from behind you, as a centurion has a volley of arrows fly from behind him. A bunch of the frogs explode into little puddles of acid, saying,
Keep the forward charge, men. The light repels them. For the glory of whatever this nation is called.
alright. It's your turn again.
Sacred flame.
Alright. Alright, roll the 7 that time. You got it. The frog implodes. Spontaneous combustion. The forward legion emerges with their shields in a phalanx formation. They begin poking at the frogs with their spears, putting their tower shields up to prevent any excessive splash of the acid. There has not yet been a single casualty. Alright, lead on, glorious warrior.
Moving up.
Moving up. There is a singular frog. He attempts to spit at you. He rolls a 4. It sprays on the wall
Disintegrator.
behind you. The centurions raise up their tower
Oh,
shields
no.
to keep themselves from being splashed by the acid. The archers huddle underneath their men.
Steady, man, steady. Acid rains from the depths of hell.
Alright, your turn, bubbled up.
I disintegrate the frog.
With what? Sacred flame?
I'm not even gonna, like, I don't even do it. Just when it's my turn to roll sacred flame.
Okay. It also did not succeed. Alright, pushing forward. Frogs are bludgeoned into a corner.
Oh, what?
The forward phalanx charges and takes advantage. They begin stabbing into the corner. Meanwhile, the archers begin unveiling all of their arrows in a flurry across the remaining frogs that are fleeing. That's a lot of words. The frogs are struck by a flurry of arrows, and they all explode with goopy acid all over the walls. Meanwhile, the phalanx is going ham. The war boy, he's got the drums going, the war cry and everything. And he's switching to another song, apparently. Alright, it's your turn. Sacred Flame, I'm guessing. Alright, that's a 1. You kill 2 frogs, and the remaining phalanx begin destroying the rest of the frogs. The acid flare-up is pretty bad. One of the men gets burned. He says,
My eyes! My eyes! Fall back, men! The acid is too dangerous! We must wait for the acid to clear! A path will be made!
Alright, Papa Tut, what would you like to do?
Are any of the guys hurt by acid?
Yes.
Noticeably from up
Yes. There's like 4 or 5 that are struggling that have fallen out of formation.
I don't have any spell slots. I have some. I'll cure wounds a guy.
Your cure wounds 1 guy.
Yeah,
Alright.
he gets 14 hit points.
Okay, well, he was burning alive because 2 drops of acid were enough to melt his entire face. But now he's brought back and he goes, ah! And then the centurion goes, the cleric is with us! We're unstoppable!
Odin,
Odin
where'd
is
you
with
landing?
us! Okay. Where are you going, Blubblepup? Are you following the fleeing frogs?
There's a big nest up here, and I go up.
Alright, you go up leading them to the big nest. They're cowering in the corner. They say, horses, hold back, there's not enough room! Forward Legion, your final charge! Alright, the Forward Legion makes its way forward and begins stabbing the frogs to death, keeping a tight hold on their shields, ensuring that the acid splashes on them and not themselves. Their shields are wooden, which is advantageous because it is not melting because of the acid. I will Sacred Flame a frog. The frog fails. It explodes. There is a singular frog remaining. He cowers in the corner and scurries away. One of the bravest soldiers breaks formation, sprints upward and hucks a javelin at it. The frog is killed. No. Actually, that would be really funny.
He melts.
Wait. It totally
How does
does.
that
No, it totally does miss. He rolled a 3.
He retreats back in shame.
Yeah, he retreats back in shame as a frog has gotten away. Alright. The centurion says, we must press forward! There are more deeper in the waters! Fly, men, fly! Alright, are you leading them forward?
Yeah.
Is this like the
Perfect.
movie Epic?
Yeah, it is. It is specifically like that. Alright, you crawl through the hole. There are remaining frogs in the water. 3 of them attempt to splash you with their little acid breath. They all miss and are cringe. Your shield deflects the acid into the water. The archers unleash a destructive volley, striking all the frogs in the water. You sacred a flame of frog further in. He melts. We're almost done, men! The pond in front of us! Do not step in it! The acid may melt us! Fly, men, fly!
Wait, hold!
Hold!
I see
Hold!
there's a frog up ahead, right?
Yeah, it tries to spit at you. It rolls a terrible number.
Alright, hold on, it gives me time, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
It's so you want it, I don't want to use, never mind. We kill it.
Okay.
I was gonna
You're-
take it. I was gonna wrap it up in my
Alright.
blanket to keep it, but I don't want to give it my blanket. That's
You
the only
charge
cloth I
forward
have.
into the pool. Big Mama's corpse is left. The remaining frogs are fleeing to the entrance. The centurion declares, the battle is won! Our enemies round before our might!
Smell me blankie, and without my blankie it'd be cold. So
Alright.
I don't want to ruin my blankie.
The men are cheering. The remaining frogs have routed. You are successful in your conquest. And not
Yay,
a
we killed
single
death.
casualty. Actually, that's definitely not true. 3 men did burn to death.
I
But,
saved one of them
You saved one of them. So,
at the cost of 1 spell slot.
alright.
I do believe if we
Tyrion
base
doubles
on the
back.
math there, I'm pretty sure losing a single warrior to any amount of frogs is not acceptable math. But
Do you know how many hit points they have?
like
Well,
five,
I won't tell you the number of hit points.
One
But
half.
let's say
if they, number of tacos.
if a sprite wanted to go out to a Mexican place and order a number of tacos, they would only be able to eat 2 tacos. If you catch my
let me
cold.
let me suggest they would be spending like $2 at Taco Bell.
$2 per taco at Taco Bell. Yep.
Well, in PA, there's tax. You can only get one taco.
Yeah.
Oh no!
No.
Due to inflation, the Pixies now have less hit points.
Oh,
They need
man.
like 12 more cents to get
Alright.
2 tacos.
All right. Well, what would you like to do, Blubbletup?
Inflation, each hit point
Are
is
you
actually only
are
worth
you,
one.
are you exiting the
Yeah,
cave?
I'll head back.
All right, you exit the cave victorious. The centurion returns with a report for the old sprite and says, "Sir, we suffered only 3 casualties. Unfortunately, the cleric was only able to hit one of our men, but Big Mama and her offspring are finally dead." "Yes, this is very good. Who are the men that died?" "Sir, Pixie Sticks, Candy Bottom, and Trumple Sprout. May they rest in peace." "All right. Well, the cave is all yours." All right, Blubbletup returns. Just missing the report of the Centurion.
No?
Well, that's not what I want.
He has summoned birds.
There are lots of other things in addition to birds. It is still lightly raining. Alright, so what are we doing?
Guess we'll go to the cave.
I'm looking at the Roger Frog post. This isn't gonna show up for you. Oh, yeah, it will. This is the post Croucher said after he gets turned into a human. Alright. Anyway. Very well, to the cave. To the cave we go. Upon arriving back at the cave, at least the four of you. Oh yeah, Robin's gonna go back and get the other men, if that is acceptable. There are many sprites that are working as a cleanup crew now to clear out the dead frog corpses. They have various contraptions and leaf gloves and tarps to ensure that they do not get any acid on them as they're removing the hundreds of frog corpses. So, welcome to your new home.
So cozy.
Yep. All right. So what's the plan? What are we doing?
Sleep, maybe?
All right. So we're loading all the men in. How much are we gonna try to clean this cave up?
Spotless.
All right. The one issue you're gonna have is the water, because the biggest area of the cave is covered in like 3 to 4 inches of water.
We just simply have all the men drink a little and then go outside and spit it on the ground.
That sounds like a flawless idea with no flaws.
It's only got a little bit of acid in it.
Mm-hmm.
You just like scrunch it out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the water in like Philadelphia is worse. I mean, and people live off that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And people swim in that, so think about it.
If we got a pot full of water and then boiled it, do you
Yeah.
think the acid would stay behind, or would we create acid steam?
I have no idea. Probably acid steam. That is specifically what happens when you boil acid. It just turns into a gas, and then you die because you're breathing the gas, and your eyes catch on fire. So don't do
Acid
that.
steam. So, acid is a part of the Steam treasure hunt. They're from Warsaw. They took a screenshot in a game.
What?
I looked up acid steam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look
From
up
Assassin's
acid
Creed
on
1.
Steam.
There's a game called Acid Trip.
Acid Spy, Acid Nimbus, Acid Knife, Day of
It's a
Dragons,
top-down
Acid Spitter
shoot 'em
Drake
up.
DLC.
Ooh, DLC, that could be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Write that down.
No.
I'm absolutely loading up this cave. So,
I'm aware.
yeah, I'm just letting it be known. I don't know where Orion
is
and Luke are
this?
gonna go.
There's a new hero shooter called Hyenas. Okay.
Isn't I don't want to metagame, but isn't there a guy that knows shape water?
Nah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know any spells. Thanks for asking, though.
Uh-huh.
I'm actually a rogue, so I don't.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah,
don't
but
play the game.
it's only like 5 cubic feet at a time.
Uh-huh. Water's only 4 inches deep.
Fine.
That is a good point.
I'm literally gonna make Malakai do chores so you guys can have enough room to sleep. Although there is a giant frog corpse in that room as well, and that's another problem.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll get.
Alright.
He sucks up the water, it leaves all the acid behind. Now we got a bigger problem.
Yeah. Alright. So are you gonna clear out the water-infested, acid-infested room?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, very well. Blah, 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 blah. This will take, like, probably an hour or two.
It's
But,
fine.
yeah, it will make it an actual space you can exist in. However, the giant frog corpse is another story. What would you like to do about the giant frog corpse?
Looks like
can I-
meat's back
wait,
on the
wait.
menu, boys.
Can I take some of the water and just like freeze it around it so I can't like I don't know if that makes sense. Just freeze it so it doesn't start smelling.
It is now an object because it's a corpse and not a being. So that is allowed, yes. It's still going to be in the middle of the room, but yeah, that will stop it from decomposing. Slightly longer. Yeah,
Oh.
you can do that.
Okay. Either that way or just using Ray of Frost a bunch.
Hey, John, not to metagame, but do you have that spell that stops a corpse from rotting for 10 days?
You think I could cast that right now? I casted Dispel Magic a few minutes ago.
Yeah,
Can
what are you
cast it-
out?
You cast it as a ritual?
What are you like? I can't cast another spell for an hour.
I don't remember what it's called.
I don't know a spell like that.
It's called Anti-Rotty Corpy.
Yeah, I don't remember. I can't remember what it's
It's
called.
not Death Ward.
Alright, where do you guys want to be in the cave?
I think Dirk had it, but he's not here.
Right where I'm standing right now.
It's
Oh,
not a real
with-
place.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm there, so.
He did not.
Are we gonna take watch as normal?
You do have a bunch of men that are already on a watch rotation. Including Robin at the entrance of the cave with Virkin.
Okay.
Trust these men.
Well, before going to sleep, can I try something that I didn't get to try before?
Sure, depends on what it is, but sure.
I mean, it doesn't have to happen right now, but it will only take literally 20 minutes, I guess.
Okay, what do you want to try?
Going to attempt to contact the queen again.
Okay.
And ask her if she can like let us know if the king like what Cersei's plans to do. She knows. If she knows, or if they think we've been defeated.
What's your exact message?
Like just to find out what he knows about like our movement since the dragon like they escaped.
Do you have the first message that you sent to her written down?
Written down? No.
Check the tapes.
I did not write it down.
Cringe. I gotta find it.
I think it was something like, Mom, like I'll ask you.
Didn't you say you were gonna try to save your sister?
Yes, that's why I was saying 20 minutes, because before bed, one message to the queen and then one to his sister.
No, but I mean, when you message your mom, you mentioned something about we're gonna try to rescue.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. All right. And now, well, that really still says session 29. That's incorrect on all counts.
Oh, the spell is called Gentle Repose. It's second level. There you go. I had to find out.
All right. This is 30. Oh, this is 31, and this is 32. Okay. So, what is your message saying this time?
So this one is just to let her know that we survived the dragon attack. But if she could you let us know? Well, could you tell me if he plans to strike again soon, or when? When he plans to strike again?
I'm muted. Haha. Is that all?
Um. Yeah, it was probably just like when he plans to strike again, if he plans to strike again, if and when he plans to strike again.
Mm-hmm. So we survived we survived the dragon attack. Could you tell me if and when he
And
plans to strike again?
yeah,
Okay. Are you ready to send this message?
yes.
Sending message to mother. Alright, my turn. This is a loaded question. I'm counting for those of if anyone's on the stream. I know that I'm visible on camera, but on the stream there's just silence because now I'm counting out my response.
Imagine counting your response.
What year is it?
It's, 1632. Come on. Do you know what day it is?
Nope.
Let me just make sure I have it written down as the number of the month. I want to make sure. August 6th. It's Tuesday. But it's like 1 a.m. So when we wake up, it'll still be Tuesday. No, it's July, not August. Damn it, I wanted to get it right and I got it wrong anyway.
God.
7th month.
You've fallen. You've fallen for my bait. I knew all that all along.
Oh, okay.
Just here.
Alright. After another series of minutes, you hear the response. He is very angry. An old withering man visited him. I don't know what was said, but I heard your name mentioned. Just stay safe.
Okay. All right. And then I'm going to take another 10 minutes and this time try to cast sending to Michaela.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say, Sister, your brothers are coming to save you, so hang on. But is there any way to help us get into the asylum?
You wait for what you believe is an appropriately long period of time, but there is no response.
Great. Now I'm hearing voices too. This asylum really is driving me crazy.
I wonder if that means does that mean I think she's dead, or?
Why would I tell you what you think?
Would this spell work if she was dead?
That's a good question. I don't think it would. Okay. Well, I'm gonna relay to the party that I assume the weathered old guy is the guy who temporarily killed me. So I'm gonna let the party know that we can thank the Lich for selling out our hiding spot.
Ah.
For now, I think the only thing we can do is just try and get some rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably best.
Long rest time?
Long rest time?
For the first time in forever.
My freaking
Grab
spell
been like
your
6
not a frog.
sessions.
It sure has. Well, everyone can go ahead and hit the button.
I was
actually
waiting to
need
make sure you didn't say,
No.
actually.
Oh,
Nah.
glorious spell slots.
But you all were up till like 2 a.m. So it's going to be a late morning. For sure. Gotta update my schedule. Oh, British. Tuesday, innit? Oh no, wait, it's already Monday. Because it was 12:30 a.m. when we stopped. So it's Monday. Monday at 2 a.m., which means when you wake up, it is Monday
It
at
should
10
be-
a.m.
It should be Tuesday now.
Don't think so.
I do.
We stopped we stopped last time. It was Monday 12:30 a.m. The day had already rolled over.
I thought it was Tuesday, 12:30 a.m.
Nope.
Ooh,
It was
fake fan.
Monday, July 7th. I can check to make sure that we're still on the 1632 schedule.
I have it written down as Tuesday, July 6th. It's possible I missed a day or something.
Should be Monday, July 7th. Alright,
Time traveling.
hold
We're time
on.
traveling. We're going back and forth in the time warp.
Tuesday was June 29th. So, Tuesday, June 22nd is when it starts. Maybe I can just go on my actual Windows clock and roll it back to 1632. You think it'll let me do that? I'm gonna. No, it only lets me go back to 1922. No. No.
Cowards. Only that we
That's-
go 100 years back.
That's crazy. I don't remember how I determined. I think I looked up like what day of the week was.
No, didn't you do it in Excel?
I don't think so. No. I have a.
You had like a Word document with a
That's what I
table in
have. I mean, that's what I'm looking at right now. It's the grand table of all the times and dates and starting and ending. But it should be June 22nd, 1632.
I have it. Saturday at 11 is when I fought. Saturday 11 at night is when I fought Goober Goblin. Sunday is when I met the group and we traveled
Alright,
to
hold on.
Grafton Post.
Just hold on. I'm getting it. I'm gonna trace back all the way and see if I messed up the date. Tuesday on 1632 was June 22nd, which means Thursday is the 24th, Friday is the 25th, Saturday is 26th, Sunday is the 27th, Monday is the 28th, Tuesday is the 29th, Wednesday is the 30th. Only 30 days in June, right? Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Thursday's July 1st. And then Friday's the 2nd, Saturday's the 3rd, Sunday's the 4th. Oh!
Tuesday the 6th.
Somebody messed up big time.
I
Sunday.
think going by that, both of our dates are wrong.
Both of our dates are wrong.
Wasn't it Tuesday, July 6th?
On the 25th session, we ended on Saturday, July 3rd at 11 p.m. And then on the 26th session, we ended on Sunday, July 4th at 4 p.m. Then we went to 11:30 p.m. on Sunday, July 4th. Sunday, July 4th. Monday was the 5th. So I gotta update all of these. Then Tuesday was the 6th.
That's what I
Which
have.
means that we are now at Wednesday, July 7th. Which is why when I looked up what day of the week was July 7th, 1632, it went Wednesday, and I went, hold up. Yeah. Alright, now we're on track. Excellent. Hump
I'm gonna have
day.
to check with you later because now my notes are out of whack.
Yeah, we'll get that sorted out. The dates are accurate. The days of the week have not been accurate. So that is kind of crazy to think about. Canonically, it has only been 15 days. 2 weeks in game time has passed. 32 real life weeks.
Since the start of this
Correct.
or
the start of
okay.
this part.
Yeah,
On
'cause it was
Tuesday, June 22nd, at 4 p.m., you were dumped on a mountaintop in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty wacky. Alright, well, now that we've resolved the calendar, you all wake
Calendar
up.
resolutions.
Alright. Are you all refreshed? Are you all feeling good?
feel good on a Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Excellent. So,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
what's our morning routine?
Well, I get up and brush my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I then start my yodeling. Yodelay. Yodelay.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna roll drugs for Dweeby.
No one else has
He
a
definitely would have
no
been
one
making
else has
drugs.
a morning routine
No,
apparently.
Dweeby's routine is
Whoa.
making crack.
He sells some to the pixies, saying it's a magic stimulant.
Drugs. I just rolled a nat 20 on drugs. I'm literally adding cocaine to Brendan's inventory. And I'm not
Call
gonna...
Walter White up
Nobody-
here. He's the one who knocks.
Nobody say anything. I'm just gonna add a custom item to Dweeby's backpack.
Well, blunt.
No, cocaine.
Not just a blunt. 3.
Not just a but the
I'm
blood.
gonna call it pixie dust.
What's that picture where it's like 20 inches across and like 20 inches in diameter blunt? It's just
what
massive.
do you do after you smoke this?
Yeah,
Probably die.
the blunt. You just pass out and die.
Dang it, I'm trying to add custom item. Here it is. Pixie
that,
dust.
The cigar from
Void
Futurama.
override. Notes. Its description. This special powder brewed by only the greatest of drugsmiths grants one the effects of the haste spell when consumed.
John Oliver, what are you doing?
That is not who that is.
It is now.
Alright, there is now pixie dust in his inventory.
Is that the bird? Oh yeah, it says Colbert on the back.
So, what I'm going to go with canonically in my head is Dweeby found the corpse of a pixie went, yo!
Oh my gosh.
Started crafting it.
Paste.
Turned it into a
Not like
nice
from its wings
powder.
or something, just its whole body.
Probably from its wings, sure.
Oh, okay.
His whole body of cocaine's a little bloody.
Oh my god.
Alright. This special powder grew by
morning
only
routine.
There's like a
Smith
bone in it.
from the wings of a
You're
pixie.
gonna like send out like some patroller like, oh, there's a dead pixie here. What happened to him? And he won't have wings.
The frogs got to him, man.
Yeah, that's always the answer. Incredible.
Well, morning routine. Should we have like the soldiers who are with us are doing like some drills,
Sure.
to stay
Crumpets, tea,
Breakfast sausage.
It's someone
Frog for breakfast, boys.
But IHOP.
literally.
You wake up to a bit of a dispute between Lieutenant Argyle Becker and Commander Archie, because Becker goes, Listen, I was in control of these men until we arrived. I don't understand why we can't just continue with that order.
Well, now you're under new management, and you're just gonna have to manage it. I outrank you, sonny boy.
Yes, but I've served with these men longer. I know their interests. I know their powers.
Well, unfortunately, that's just not how the ranking system works. Now, I advise that you submit to your superior officer, or else you shall be expelled from this legion.
Wait, who's arguing with what's his face, Becker?
Commander Archie.
Who's that?
One of the old dudes from Malik's camp. Yeah.
Yo, can we start like using like puppetry to make Big Mama move? I'm like, I'm gonna eat you, Archie.
Why would we do that?
Hold on.
I'm gonna eat you.
That's just a
I'm
word
gonna
for
eat
me.
you, Archie.
You don't let Becker command.
Hold on.
Well, I mean, doesn't Archie have more experience?
Yeah.
But not with these men.
But Google's is me name.
All right.
That's
Well,
all I have to
Vesper,
say.
I think we had said that you'd be the liaison, so you go talk to them.
Wait, who?
All right,
Oh,
I'll
that's
go. I'll go walk up. What seems to be the issue here, men?
This senor. And then Becker starts talking at the same time. And is like, he doesn't respect my authority. Then this senor does not understand the military hierarchy.
Whoa, Archie, it's me, Big Mom.
I'm gonna eat you.
So, what exactly is the issue here?
Well, I outrank him, but he refuses to relinquish control of these men.
Well, typically he would order the men and you would order him.
Well, yes, but he's only a lieutenant.
Correct?
Well, he doesn't have the ability to override my decisions, and that's what he's attempting to do. Why, I'm not. Yes, you are. These men are not set to head out yet. So, what are you going to do about it?
It's me.
Shut up. You're banned.
Ah!
So, the issue is you want to directly command his men.
No, I simply stated that we are not yet fit to march out of this cave, and that the men must acquire their belongings, ensure that everything is in order, and clean up before we begin drills.
And I said we just need to get out of here because it's freaking awful in here. It is incredibly hot. The amount of body heat in small cave has made it incredibly uncomfortable.
It seems like you both want the same thing. They're not going to leave their things behind on the way out.
You haven't worked with imbeciles before, have you? You know, once I had
my fair share.
Well, I once had a legion of men. We were stationed in Königgrik. We had a bunch of contractor soldiers with us. You know that 3 of my men forgot their weapons in the camp.
I believe it.
They brought their scabbard and not their sword. Now I am ordering that these men get their things in order before we march out of here. Is that unreasonable for Lieutenant Becker's schedule?
No, I simply trust my men know what they're doing.
How about Archie? You meet them at the mouth of the cave to verify that they have everything in order, and if they don't, they'll have to come back in and get everything in order.
Very well, yes, sir.
Alright, Archie walks off. Becker just kind of looks at you like,
Vesper's looks at Becker. That guy, am I right?
It's my opinion that an officer shouldn't see what's going on. He should rely on his subordinates to tell him what's going on. That's how things run smoothly.
That's what I was under the impression of as well. I have control of these men. If I don't, and he has an issue, then he can address it with me. I'm responsible for them.
I think he'd have a lot on his plate if he wanted to command every single unit individually. But Let's appease him for now, so we can get out of this cave.
Yes, sir. All right. Becker begins moving out with his men that I'm not moving out because I don't feel like it.
Cool.
Anyway.
Okay.
So, what are we doing?
I guess, after all the morning routines are done, praying to various gods and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Did they do like breakfast? Like, is there a cook among them? Like,
Yeah, they have their own rations and kits. So they already dealt with all that.
okay,
You guys
how
get
many
to
rations should I take off?
you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people to feed. So take off like 3 rations.
It's me, Big Mama. I can be used as an emergency food source
No,
in times of need.
don't do that. You will
I
die.
can melt your stomach lining.
Yeah, that is
What's
what would
going
happen.
on?
It's me, Big Mama. Did you know that in times of need, tree bark can be made into tea and a very nutritious meal?
How very informative.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go talk to the queen?
What? Oh, yes, Bat Queen.
Does that mean we're rolling out as a time?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Fairy queen, pixie queen.
Perhaps. All right.
It's me, Big
If
Mama.
I can distract Archie a little bit to
Uh-huh.
let some guys slip past him on my way out, I will.
Great. Roll for deception.
That's definitely a skill that I don't have. Oh, 16.
All right. What are you wasting his time talking about?
Don't you think we should have a standardized uniform for all of our troops?
Absolutely, I do. We look like a disheveled mess. I can't believe we're rolling around like this.
It's me, Big Mama. I prefer one with frills.
I told that troublemaker Malik that if we're going to do war, we at least need to look hot while doing it.
War. Gentlemen, would you like to do war today? I would.
I'm just gonna,
a very
like-
good day for war.
Roll, like, just straight up, like, oh,
Yeah.
yes, of course. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Exactly.
Perfect. All right. So who's
what I was
coming?
thinking.
Who's coming with to go see the queen?
The Queen.
I mean,
We should
I'll
bring.
go
We
if
should
I-
bring
if I'm
our
stuck
Big
here.
Mama ventriloquist
No,
puppet.
no. I'm assuming Malakai and Vesper and Grudge are coming. Is Bobbletop coming?
Yes.
All right. Who else is coming? Oh, is that really
and
it?
that was everyone.
Just the four people that are here and none of the other NPCs. I think Dweeby's taking
Wow.
like a
All
personal
the
day.
NPCs, that's kind of crazy.
They are.
We need to
You want to
get
bring
a
Luke
permit
Cassio? Yeah,
from
go ahead.
the
Bring
eyes.
Luke Cassio. Alright, as you exit the cave, Luke Cassio says,
Hey guys, where you going? Can I come along?
Yeah.
Ah, sick.
"Now this is perfect." The man who doesn't have authority to invite the awkward other fifth wheel to come along.
Hey guys, so where we headed, eh? We're doing a little
A
reconnaissance.
diplomacy mission.
Ah, yeah, diplomacy. I got a good mouth. You let me do the talking, I'll do whatever you need to do. What's our aim? What's our mission?
You have one mission.
Uh-huh.
You still haven't found us our sending stones. Until that's complete.
Well, I got you the stones, but he didn't make them sending yet. That's gotta count for like something.
No, I feel like that's still incomplete.
Well,
I
who am I
feel like you're
supposed
just
to
like
go?
a hater of Luke Cassio.
Yeah, come on. Give me some
So I'm
slack.
the president of the Luke Cassio hate club. Treasurer here.
What's the guy I gotta do? I mean, these guys have got some magic or whatever. You saw the little guy with the pointy hat, right? They told me about him.
The cool hat.
No, the pointy hat. That's a wizard,
I
right?
heard what I wanted to hear.
Wizards wear pointy hats. Yeah. No. So who are we talking to?
I don't know anymore.
No.
Alright, hold up. Old Sprite is no longer here. And
I
Rumpleton
wish-
is no longer here.
I wish I was playing a more like chaotic character so I could go tell him to tell the pixies he loves to jump.
Alright, the sprites stop you. And one of them speaks common. In an incredibly comedically low voice, he says, "Halt! You may pass no further."
Okay.
Do you wish to seek an audience with the Queen?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Queen has not yet returned from her route. She may be off further in the forest.
Oh wait, I got this.
Okay. No, that's not how that works.
And they let us pass now.
Nah, they do not let you pass.
You just cast suggestion with them hips and they do not bother.
Ooh, true.
Can that go in quotes?
I mean, sure.
Please document that for the record keeping.
Secretary, make sure you write that down.
Secretary, take that in the meeting minute notes. All right. The sprite says, "Should you wish to find the Queen, she may be off in the forest."
Well, when would she be back?
It is unknown. Her walks through the woods may be lengthy, as she tends to nature and stuff.
Could she be in danger?
Probably not, but maybe. But probably definitely not.
Could you tell us the direction she went into?
Well, there's a trail that she follows, but she goes off of it a lot. I could take you to the trailhead.
That'd be pretty cool.
That's a start.
All right. Actually, I'm not going to take you to the trailhead. I'm on duty, but I'm going to find someone who can take you to the trailhead.
Slide him a gold coin.
Yeah, get
What
the
about now?
get the intern. No.
They got interns?
Yeah. Hold up. I gotta
I want to apply to be an
check
intern.
something.
Fairies.
That's not what I want. I hate it when I know what I'm thinking of and I do not know what it is called. Alright, whatever. Hold on. I might be able to find it. There it is. That's the one. That's the guy. That's him. Big man. Alright. Found him. Alright. They sent over like one of the interns. His name is like Steven with a V.
His name's Rep Star Teacher.
No. Why do you remember that? Oh, I totally forgot that she existed.
Wow.
She terrifies me. No one look her up, please. It's so bad. Oh, there's a sound. All right, I gotta go on this tangent. There's a SoundCloud account. If it's still up, it was called Rapstar Teach, and it was this 20-year-old white woman that was a teacher in Florida. And I found her SoundCloud account because reasons, and listened to like one thing, and I went,
Oh wow, this is good.
And it's not the reaction that I had.
And he was like, teach me math and stuff.
She's like an English teacher, like a liberal arts teacher, so like no. It was rough. It was very bad. Alright, Steven is going to guide you to the trailhead. Alright,
Stephen Bill.
Steven guides you to the
Google says she
trailhead.
doesn't exist.
Yeah, there is no woman named Rep Star Teacher.
It's Rapstar Teach, not Rapstar Teacher.
I found it. It had to be all one word.
Correct. Do not listen to just save that tab for later, okay? Because you're gonna hurt yourself. Alright. Steven takes you to the trailhead. There's a small dirt trail leading through the woods here, and it seems like the trees here sort of arch around the trail to form a tunnel of sorts.
Oh,
Oops.
I need like a hammer.
So are you journeying on the trailhead?
Yes.
Very well. You begin walking the trail, all 5 of you. Luke
Oh
Cassio,
yeah, that's right.
Luke Cassio begins to monologue. Yeah, these woods remind me of where I grew up. I had a childhood friend named Ricky. He and I would walk around making trouble. But anytime things got too hot, we just chilled in the woods. Ricky taught me to hunt. He's a cool guy.
That's
And you
good.
guys have stories?
I was born like 3 months ago.
Tight.
Kinda.
You like some kind of homunculus?
Oh yeah, what's that?
It's like a meat puppet.
I don't think so.
You even made a meat?
That's a good question.
I bleed, alright?
Do ya?
What color?
Does Bubbletop bleed?
Does he
Good
bleed?
question. Does he? Waffletop does not bleed.
Oh.
If it bleeds, I can kill it.
Like paper
If
cuts?
it doesn't, I don't know what to do.
Batman goes, well, this is beyond me.
If it doesn't bleed,
Oh. I don't do that. Batman gets called in to like, I don't know, deal with some existential, like robotic threat. It's like, I don't know, like a robot invasion, like Age of Ultron's down. He's like, oh, they don't bleed, so I don't know. I only do bleeding things.
I have simulated bleeding.
Yeah. Anyway. Alright, we begin walking through the woods. Luke Cassio begins monologuing again. Yeah, these woods, I remember they, you should tell me stories about it with all them fairies and whatever. I didn't know if it was real, but also, like, there's a lot of weird stuff in this world, so, you know, anything kind of checks out. But, you know, people tend to exaggerate. You know, I heard that, what is these things called? Sprites? One, I thought that was a drink, but 2, I thought they was, invisible, they said to me. But, I mean, you can see them clear as day, so I don't know what that's all about. But, yeah.
All I know about the Feywild is that its residents aren't to be trusted.
Yeah, it's a pretty weird place. I remember my uncle was, I think he was like a quarter elf. And, man was cracked. And an alcoholic. So I don't know if I can really trust his stories. But, he said he did 3 months in the Feywild, whatever that means.
In prison.
That's what he made it sound like. They're talking about this weird, I don't know, there was this like goblin with a hat, and it was cracking jokes, and he said he beat it to death because it annoyed him. And, yeah, I kind of stopped hanging around my uncle after that.
He's kind of weird.
It's kind of a weird
Then he got arrested for drug possession.
Yeah.
Unrelated though.
Yeah.
so did he actually say goblin in a hat and like actually say that?
Yeah, he did.
So hearing that, I'm gonna. It reminds me of what I heard about the jester at the court.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna mention that. Roger, weren't you looking for a goblin of some sort?
Yeah.
Oh, you thinking it's the same goblin? Don't goblins only live like 10 years or something stupid?
I don't know.
Because, I mean,
Like,
for reference, my uncle's like, if he's still alive,
For reference, my uncle's
which,
a goblin.
no. My uncle, if the dude's still alive, he's like 60. But at the time, he was like 40. He was already an old guy. And like I said, the alcohol got to his head. So even if any of what he said was true, any goblin he came across would probably have been dead and gone at that point.
Have I always been 62?
Wait a minute.
No.
No.
Hey, yeah. Wait, when you met Luke Cassio, were you young?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to remember if that was the case or not.
No, we met
No.
Luke in
Already-
Königsberg.
Yeah, no.
And that was
no.
afterwards, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
he
in
got brain
Halpert,
blasted
yeah.
before we
Oh
left
yeah,
on
because I made my
Richardson ship.
joke where there was
In
he was a
Halpert.
62-year-old man running down the street at full sprint for like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and then I got exhaustion 1, which led to a lot of benefits,
Uh-huh.
and definitely didn't almost kill me.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate. If only he could see me take wing.
Yeah, Michael said a bunch of weird stuff about the Feywild. Like I said, I don't know if he actually went there. I'm pretty sure he just walked in the forest, pissed drunk, and peed on a tree, and maybe made a tree
Who's the
spirit angry or
Feywild?
something, but I don't know. Don't they say that the Feywild is like, what, it steals stuff or whatever?
I heard that it messes with your memories.
Yeah. I wonder if my uncle, like, wasn't actually crazy, but, like, he was crazy after the Feywild. Maybe that's why he became an alcoholic. Anyway, pretty weird guy. So, Roger, you're an elf, right? What the heck are you doing?
I'm crafting.
Crafting what?
I found a nail and I'm putting it through a Dr. Pepper cap, and I'm using I don't know what this device is, a hammer. You know, they taught me in first day of engineering too. In order to enable your tools to last the longest, you should never use them improperly. But then that's when I responded that anything could be a hammer if you try hard enough.
What are you hitting it with?
A scraper.
I've got
What was
a
that
hammer.
thing?
What
What
the
was the thing
heck?
Jacob posted?
A scraper?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's that.
great.
But then what's up?
Luke Cassio's asking,
I'm
you're an elf,
crafting.
right? Oh, okay, that's Charlie. I'm trying to
Oh, you're
tell.
going to bed? Well, I'm crafting.
Alright, good night. I'm crafting.
Good night.
What are you? What?
So
I can't hear you over there, and I refuse to turn down any of the volume things. I need you to scream. He left.
So can we answer?
Now I can get back to
Oh,
crafting.
can we answer Luke Cassio's question?
I couldn't hear him over the crafting.
He goes, so Gradza, you're an elf, right?
Sort of.
So what are you, sort of like half elf?
Yeah.
So what do you know about like the Feywild and stuff?
Literally nothing.
They never tell you none of that?
Hmm.
Don't elves like come from the Feywild? And then they made like this great pilgrimage or whatever because they got expelled by, I don't know, like Jim Jar the Destroyer or something stupid like that?
Yeah, I don't read history.
I don't neither, but I remember I was told to.
Yeah, but unlike you, I also forgot that.
Yeah, no, I got a good memory. Always had one since I was young.
Always had one. Yeah, so my uncle said something like...
That's crazy.
I don't believe he's a good narrator. He's a reliable narrator.
That's crazy. Luke Cassio? He's the most reliable of all narrators. Alright.
Uh-huh.
Well, this is the part where I look at
Okay.
Roger's passive investigation. Isn't it like 18 or something?
No, it's like 14.
No, investigation, not perception.
Oh, it is 18.
Alright. After
You know,
about...
bottle caps are really resistant to nails.
I did know that. I could have told you that, yes. They're specifically designed so that they can't be punctured. Who would have thought?
Myth busted.
You get a lighter, you heat up the nail.
Okay, no.
And
John,
it
do
goes
you
to
think
the
I
cap.
have the tools for the job? I'm using a scraper as a hammer. What
Hey.
makes you think I can find a lighter?
You know what's kind of stinky is that 12:30 a.m. comes before 11 a.m.
Yeah. I always
dumb.
get 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. confused.
Yeah. That annoys me. I'm annoyed by that. That's all I have to say because I'm looking at the time. It's like 11 a.m. Y'all been walking on the path for like half an hour, 45 minutes. Okay. And Groucher,
PM.
you notice there's a fairly large breach in the path where it appears that large things have stomped
There's a
around.
very large breach in the path.
Yeah?
Wow.
Right there. I'll point at it.
This is something that any individual
with
could have
my-
noticed.
With my gnarled
But
old
we
man
didn't, did
finger.
we?
No, you definitely did. I just want to
job,
point out to
Groucher.
Groucher.
That would actually be really
Investigate.
funny if no one else noticed it. A
No.
little visitor?
Uh,
Hello, visitor.
Oh,
what is
Goodbye,
notable,
visitor.
however, Groucher, is observing the footprints. They're quite unusual. It's clear that large creatures trotted this path, yet the footprint is not one of a clearly discernible animal. They're spiraling, they're sort of erratically formed. Large pieces of dirt molded down by the pressing of something large, yet not of a concrete
crafting.
form. There appear to be 2 to 3 sets of footprints, although the third is more elegant. A human-sized footprint, yet not of a human foot or a boot mark.
But it's 2 feet stacked on top of each other.
No. You are stupid. You are wrong.
Also, not that.
No. You are so terrible. Why would you say that?
Oh, so it's 2 boxers?
It's 2 boxes. No.
Okay, 2
Elegant,
supermodels.
elegant footprints. Barefoot footprints.
Should we go this way?
Could you?
Hey, I was waiting for any answer from anyone, including the DM.
Okay.
I said.
I was
yeah,
gonna see
sure.
if you slip up and say sure.
Great.
Alright, adventure. And I have a stick now that I found on the ground.
All right.
It's
like a
important.
little kid.
Yes.
It looks like a gun. Pew pew.
Now,
This is my sword.
after a while, the trail completely disappears. You're trekking through the woods, things are open, there appears to be a stream flowing in the distance. It's still lightly raining, but it doesn't make any sense. There's no evidence of a conflict or even evidence of turning around. There's simply footprints and then there's nothing.
Guess we turn around.
Well,
There's nothing there. Unless I investigate.
Roll your investigation check.
Almost roll intimidation. I'll beat that.
Now, there is nothing to see, but that is still valuable information. The footprints stop. The dirt is not disturbed. The tracks are fresh. Whatever made these knows you were following it. Clearly, there's something magical
6
at
hours
play.
ago, we're like, something's following us in like 6 hours. We should stop here.
The tracks were fresh.
Okay. The tracks are fresh. So not 6 hours old. That's
Correct.
an important distinction, party. If
can
the
we-
tracks were old, they wouldn't be here. Think about that.
what?
Mushroom City, here we come.
Hey guys, it's me, Mario from the new Mario movie.
Stomping Koopas.
He really said that like a slur. He was like, Koopas. He was like, whoa, Chris Brown, whoa. I would like to smell the air.
So,
You would like to smell the air?
Yeah, what did it smell like?
It smells
Sweet to the touch.
Sweet to the touch is not a smell. There's so many things wrong with that statement. You can't touch sweet. Sweet is a taste, not a smell. It smells like
Touch sweet.
it smells like bark,
Mm,
like dry bark.
There's a dog.
This has forest smell.
Oh, he's back.
So is there a
It's not the
we can't keep it serious. What's wrong with us tonight?
Can we identify the tracks at all?
I would
Well,
like to
the
use
one
the monster
that appears
manual.
to be humanoid, the other is not. Okay, pull out the monster manual.
Well, I did.
Okay. What are you looking for? Just a beast with a foot shape that matches these tracks?
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
looking at their feet.
All right. You scroll
Oh,
through.
foot guy, yeah.
Is this like this is the joke is that this is the first edition monster manual, right?
I think you specifically said it would only apply to the other dimension. So
I think I did say that, but I kind of want to
He's
retcon
useless.
it. No.
Whoa.
It's been
retcon?
so long
Alright.
since we got that book.
You know what I'm gonna do? Here's what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be crazy. That's gonna be Gary Gigax's first edition of the monster manual. So if there's any monster that I use that appears in the first edition of D&D, you have its
That would be
you have
crazy.
its reference, and you'll never believe it. You flip through your book, and then all of a sudden, there's a sketch, a highly detailed sketch.
Of a Giganox.
No. A highly detailed sketch of a large tree creature
Whoa, a Tridantador.
with
That is
spiraling
not a
feet.
Tridantador.
A large tree creature with massive mound-like feet and spiraling roots like the stump of a tree. This matches the tracks that you have. It's labeled as a treant. Treant. Don't look up at stat block. That's cheating. What?
What was that?
I gotta go.
Dun, 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 dun.
I gotta open up Clash Royale.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the final footsteps before they disappear, do they look like?
They look
Do they
like
just look?
trees.
Well, what I mean, do the footsteps just disappear as if like mid-step they vanished, or
Yes.
does it look like they jumped or something?
They disappeared.
I look very closely at the trees around us.
Mm-hmm.
They don't lead directly to a tree, do they?
Nope. They
They
don't.
just thought they just there's like one footstep and then there's
Yep.
clearing and nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
But what if the tree jumped?
Well, the footsteps didn't look like it jumped, so
Yeah, but those are footsteps, not tree steps. I'm getting no results off these trees.
You're
I think
not.
they're
you know, I was gonna
normal.
give you this knife, but maybe I should just keep it.
Probably should, to be honest. I do not have a good track record of keeping our magical items in the party.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
it's
Yeah,
the
I had an idea
rusted
for that
frog
too,
one.
but I don't have to do anything.
Hey,
I have
Malachi.
2.
Malachi.
Hey, Magic Man, got any magic tricks?
Malachi.
Yes.
You feel something growing in your hair.
In my hair?
In your hair.
What?
A flower sprouts. A lily. And it wraps around your head, making you a little, like, wreath halo.
A flower crown. Oh, I have one of those.
Okay, well. I say thank you in any language I know.
Pick one.
I'll go with Elvish for now, hoping that works.
Gracias.
Mm.
No, Dankeschön.
Bitte.
It's pretty funny. Alright. I wonder. Malachi, there are leaves spiraling around your feet and then leading off to a direction deeper into the woods.
I knew the tree's gonna be trusted.
Malachi's, well, what's y'all's passive perception?
16.
17.
20, I believe.
Well,
Got
Vesper
98 over
notices
here or
something
whatever.
weird going on. Grouger, no. Grouger
What?
doesn't notice. Vesper and Bobbletub notice.
What
Luke-
My
are we-
whole
what are we
reason
noticing?
for living.
Luke Cassio's like picking his nose currently, so
That's what I notice.
yeah.
Of course.
This guy's got flowers on his head.
And a line of leaves leading him on a path. Will you follow the line of leaves?
Will you go find my special little egg?
Wait, repeat that?
Leaves spiral around your feet in like a circle and then lead you off of the trail that you're currently on. If you wish to follow them.
I'm like following, but I'm also going like, guys. While I go.
Alright.
Guess we follow him.
Okay. You begin following.
Suppose I could be convinced.
Alright,
Whoever
don't do something too crazy. I gotta check. my visitor.
who is closest behind Malakai?
Me.
Alright, it has been determined. Bobbletop, leaves fly up into your face.
They keep flying up in my face.
Only for a little bit.
What was that?
So convincing.
I was transported.
Do you continue walking?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leaves fly up into your face.
Yeah.
Do you continue
try?
walking?
Yeah.
Alright, if you're all walking, make for me a strength save, please.
Strength saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
19.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Vesper and Grouger too, sorry, I should have clarified.
10.
Nope. Grouger? Grouger?
Yogurt?
Yogurt? Yogi?
Yogurt bear?
I couldn't attempt to dodge the leaves for a dex check, could I? Because I'm much
This
better
is
than
not
that.
leaves. And
Oh.
Dex will not help you.
Yeah.
I'm
Understandable.
literally rolling for Nick. You got a 12. Failure. Alright.
Wow, Grodger's
Uh,
a failure.
Vesper and Grouger are entangled. Blobbletop and Malakai are not.
Do I notice them getting grappled?
Yep.
Or entangled?
Yep.
Oh, hey, you guys good?
No.
Alright.
You are restrained. Completely
Oh.
wrapped.
I will use...
Leaves blow in your face. Blobbletop.
Every time, I swear. Every time we get in a fight, I can't move at all, I swear.
I will use... Do I have any sharp objects?
Wait, what if I say, it's alright in Elvish? It's alright, they're with us.
Alright.
Crossbow bolts sharp.
Yeah, she's not invisible anymore, so I think at this point everyone is going to see her. A dryad emerges from between
Whoa, shoot it in the head!
two trees. She's incredibly fair. However, covered by leaves because she's basically made of leaves.
Dryad from Terraria.
It is the dryad. No, the dryad from Terraria is cringe. We don't talk about her. Because she's really wearing like a leaf bikini. This is not that. Yes, there is a dryad at the far end of the wood. And she says in a quiet voice, the dryad's name is not Stephen, excuse me. She says in a quiet voice, I'm not interested in them. In Elvish.
Whoa.
What'd she say?
She's interested in me.
She rolls her eyes.
Well, they are part of our they are members of our party, and we do travel together. But
But you are not members of my wood.
Ooh, counterpoint.
is
I'm
there
like 50% Fey
He
at least.
cautiously walks forward.
is there anything we could do to encourage you to reconsider?
Hmm. Perhaps if you'd like to spend some time with me.
Slides a gold coin.
Oh.
Alone.
Whoa. Get it. I'm sorry.
Where's the whistle? Where's the whistle?
All right. All right. Guys, I'll be right back. I'll talk to her and hopefully we can get this sorted out.
One of the trees begins to move. I will have one of my I will have one of my treants watch over your company.
What'd
Come.
you say, Malachi? I'm scared.
Can you can
Um,
my
I can
wings
translate
be
this watch.
ungrabbed, please? That's kind of
She releases you.
okay.
I'll be right back. She just needs to talk. I use message.
Where's the whistle? I'm
Alright.
all the way in symbols. I'm
Alright.
lost.
Malakai and the Dryad are now walking in the woods.
They have a cigarette?
Alright.
What are you talking about?
He's talking about emojis because he's stupid. Alright. Very
They
well.
have a cigarette.
Anyway, walking with the Dryad. Alright, I'm ignoring this chat now. Walking with the Dryad. The Dryad speaks to Malachi, now alone. There is another treant, but he has stayed stationary and he's quietly following from further behind. She walks through the wood and she says, "Your eyes, they are so pure, white like the stars. Who are you?"
I am Malakai de Lumiere. A member of a long noble house.
You are incredibly fair.
Yes.
It is not often that I see humans. Although unfortunately when I do, it is not under the best of circumstances. Or are you not a human?
You know, that's a good question.
You are no elf. Are you Azimar?
I am.
Her eyes light up. So you are divine.
Well, I've been called a lot of things before.
Then this meeting is divine.
Well, Blopple. Blopple?
I'm sorry, I don't... What are you trying to say?
I'm not sure where he stands right now with his DNA right now since the crab thing happened. So I don't know if he's an
Are you saying this out loud or just this is what's in your head?
No, this is in my head
Okay,
because
great.
all I actually say is Blopple, and then I go.
She's just kind of watching the wheels turn in your head.
I remember my manners and I bow and I say, I'm pleased to make you, to meet you, my lady.
My name is Drya. For I am the only remaining Dryad in these woods, and I have adopted the title as such. And yours, you have given me. Malakai, was it?
Yes.
A fair and noble name. Why have you come to my wood?
To ask you a favor, Lady Dryad. I know it will be a difficult ask, but the world of men occasionally needs help from the world of magic, and this is one such time. Lucine, a kingdom that once reveled in magic like you do, is under the control of a power-mad tyrant, and we aim to stop him, to take him down and return things to balance and to the way they were. However, we have an army that needs help moving from place to place. And we were told that perhaps you could help us navigate our way through the Feywild to move around Lucine.
Courageous or naive to request such a venture? Which is it? Or is it both?
It's both, definitely both.
Interesting. Men have not dared enter this wood. Those that have, I have turned away. Their purposes are not in line with ours. If you request passage, I can take you. There are tunnels which lead to the Feywild, should you know the right path. Path is not only physical. But if you wish to travel this way, I request something of you.
What would you ask of me, my lady?
Spend a day with me. Make a wisdom saving throw. You are now charmed by the Dryad. You regard
Boston
her
boys.
as a trusted friend to be heeded and protected. You are not directly under her control, but you take her requests in the most favorable way you can.
Yes, my lady. A day with you? Absolutely.
She smiles.
I couldn't imagine anything better.
Very good. Your company, are there more of you?
Not counting the other three right over there?
Yes.
Yes, there are a few more of us in the Pixie Village. Sprite Village.
The
Well,
sprites, yes. There are pixies, though they are hard to control.
And there are, as I mentioned, the rest of our men. Elsewhere in Lucine, I'm not exactly sure where they are. They're near the mountains, though.
At the foothill of a large mountain, you say?
Yes, actually.
They may be in the very cave.
Really?
Yes.
How wonderful.
Fate has smiled upon you, Malakai. Although your journey will be treacherous. Though let us not worry about that. We have a whole day ahead of us.
Yes.
All right.
And then they go to like the mall.
Should I tell my friends that we will be back?
I'll let them know.
All right. I trust you implicitly.
I'm sure. Right. An invisible sprite suddenly appears, shifting from the woodland hue. It's like the active camo in Halo, just goes, and all of a sudden it fades in, and then she whispers to it, sending it over as a messenger. Continue walking through the woods. She outstretches her hand for you to hold on to.
Yes, I take her hand.
Great. 20 minutes pass.
So,
Yo, that's wild.
so, what?
Like, we're playing like 10x4 in the dirt.
So, what exactly are we? Got a plan, or are we just gonna
We gotta save.
wait for our boy, or?
Do the treants do anything, or are they just sitting there being
No,
trees?
it's just sitting there, sort of looking at you like with the old man face, like. Hmm.
It's a good thing there's nothing bad happening,
It is a good thing that there's nothing bad happening.
so we can continue this Connect 4 game.
Yep.
He has the message and sending spell. I'm sure he would have told us if anything was
Yeah,
wrong.
ready, guys? Rock, paper, scissors.
So, Luke Cassio's getting kind of impatient. He says,
Go rock.
"Listen, guys. What even was that? You saw that, right? The weird tree lady? The leaf
That was a
lady?
tree lady.
Is that like, what is that, like an official term?
Yeah, tree lady. This is a tree man, and that's a tree lady.
How's that work? Just from like a biological standpoint, was it like an asexual kind of thing? Was it like the seeds is like a literal seed and then...
They're plants. They do plant things.
Why does it look like a woman?
Do you want me to recite the history of the world?
No, but what was that book he was reading?
Me's?
Yeah,
You mean the first edition monster manual by...
yeah. Can I see?
I mean, only true experts like myself can read the book. I hand it to him.
Okay.
It's written in like kindergarten English.
He flips
It's
through
like big pictures.
Yeah.
This is Trent. It is Tree Guy. And I go, oh yes, this is quite a work of fiction.
Oh,
I heard his real name was Ernest.
the author?
Ernest saves the camp.
Ernest. That's a little weird. So what exactly... You found a thing in here, right? That's how we used...
Yeah.
With the... Okay. What was it called?
There was a tree man.
Called
Tran.
Tree Man? What the heck? Tran. Oh shoot, there it is. Level 6 unit for the Sylvian faction of the computer game Heroes of Might and Magic 5. What the hell is this talking about?
No, you
Oh,
see,
no.
that's a reference to other literary works. You wouldn't really understand
I
it.
You're reading the
didn't-
Dwarvish translation. Look a little below that.
Oh shoot. Hold
So
on.
it implies you can read.
Hold on. I can't. Let's see this. Okay. I really want to pull up a PDF of the first edition Monster Manual. Actually find it, but I think it's really locked down, like hardcore.
What, the first edition monster manual?
Yeah. Here's the
I
Monster
doubt
Manual
that.
2.
I mean,
All right, Jacob, find me the Monster Manual first edition PDF. Beep, beep, boop, 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 boop. That's your side task now. Because I think that would be funny. So, are these things good guys? It says, chaotic good. What does that mean? Does that mean they're good sometimes?
Yeah.
Okay. They got low light vision. Favored terrain forests. That makes sense. Any tree end that rooted itself. She made a joke. This book's funny. Wait a minute. These things can speak. It says they speak Common and Elvish and Sylvan and Druidic, which
Yeah, how do you think we've been talking to it?
we ain't been talking to. It hasn't said nothing.
Yeah, we did.
What?
What?
We said, hey.
We didn't say nothing back.
maybe it just doesn't like you.
Ooh. That's the first noise you hear from the tree end.
I think that might have been a yes.
You know, on its stat block, there it is. There's the languages. I'm just blind. I speak.
What's your favorite book?
Dude, do you know what books are made of?
Books
Yeah.
are made of trees.
Sylvian
But I
fashions use
am
trees.
no tree.
Roger, that was the worst small talk question you could have asked.
You see, but I see
I
that
do
this is a
not
man that is well read.
have access to books.
They could be written on leaves.
I have not seen such books.
Hand him a book.
He picks it up and begins carefully flipping through it. Oh. These creatures. He's now reading the book.
I am pretty much a wealth of knowledge. If only there was something we could be doing,
If only.
and somebody wasn't being kidnapped.
That would be
That would
weird.
be weird.
That would be weird. Do you want to do
Sure, he'll
anything?
be fine.
No, there's nothing to worry about. No one's
So-
being kidnapped.
How much, let me ask this, how much time do we want to let pass sitting here with the tree guy?
The tree guy's a really good conversation, so probably a long time.
Alright, so how long is a long time?
I don't know.
Let's
long-
roll
how
a
many
couple
times can
d20s
you-
here.
How many times can you play rock, paper, scissors before it's excruciatingly boring?
2
What
times.
if we roll a D100 and take the minutes?
Ooh, I got a 20 on time.
Roll a D100, you say, and take the minutes?
I got 43. I was going to do your roll.
Oh, we all do a roll?
Yeah, that's like how patient you are. Luke Casio got 18 minutes, so he's already been tapping his foot for a while. Like, I don't know about this, guys. I'm getting antsy. That was already the 20-minute
Here,
mark.
take some of this, and it's the cocaine.
You do not have access to that. Only Dweeby
You
has
do
access
not
to
have
that.
access to over-the-counter drugs.
Absolutely not. All right.
This is Blue Crystal Candy.
So what did you get on D100, Jacob?
I got a 59.
Okay, so you tap out in an hour. Bobbletop taps out at 45 minutes. What's Grouger tap out at?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. So you're impatient with Luke Casio. You're tired of playing tic-tac-toe, I guess, or whatever you're playing. So what are we doing then? The 20-minute mark, Luke and Grouger are antsy.
Alright, we'll distract. I'll throw a rock, and the Trent will look at it, and then we'll be able to escape.
Okay.
And he'll still think we're the rock.
He's staring at you.
Yeah, but
Hey, Mr. Treant, how fast can you run?
what's your movement speed?
Does it say his movement speed in the monster manual?
30 feet.
So yeah,
Guy.
yeah. Well, he's big.
You're just slow.
that too.
Monster manual says 30 feet. So,
Hey, Mr. Treant, what are we allowed to do? Are we allowed to leave?
you didn't say. At the 25-minute mark, after Grouger and what's his butts, Luke Casio is impatient. A
Make a stealth
sprite appears and says,
Attention! Milady, the Queen, has taken your friend on a walk and will be spending some
Queen?
time with him.
What's sometime?
The day.
The whole day.
Yes. In
You
exchange,
didn't consult with us?
she may need not consult with you. She is the Queen. In exchange, she will allow you passage to the Feywild.
That's a pretty good deal. All right.
I can live with that.
Okay. Well,
Malakai is okay with it, correct?
yes, you agreed.
All right.
I kind of want to... Can I do, like, insight or something?
yeah.
Oh, wow, actually, that's, like, one of my best skills. I should have just been doing that. 20 total.
He's not lying.
Do I get the feeling that I should ask further questions?
You get the feeling.
I was gonna ask, did he do it of his own accord? But I didn't know if that
Well,
feels like metagaming.
From that roll, he's not lying. But do you trust him?
I don't trust any Fae.
Uh-uh.
I know about them.
Oh yeah, you don't trust this man as far as you can throw him, which is pretty far because he's a little. So, yeah, you don't trust him.
So, could you tell me, did he do it willingly? Did he willingly agree?
What do you mean?
He didn't do it under duress or under
No.
magical influence.
The Queen is not one to use threats.
And magical influence?
He kind of pauses and thinks. He's like,
Do you think... Can she do that?
Man, I've seen Malakai do that. I don't know if I have.
Throw
he's just
rocks
making
to the
this up.
ground.
Is that why everyone likes her? Oh. Oh.
Just Sprite's about to rebel.
Uh-oh.
And then if he does that, the queen's brain chip is gonna fry his brain.
I mean, we are the resistance. it's only right we start another resistance.
The Sprite thinks one negative thought and melts.
the sprite is thinking like,
Does that mean every time? No.
She doesn't like me?
I
I thought I
don't...
was her favorite little guy.
I don't think she does
Cast a
that.
spell magic on him.
Maybe.
Do it.
Maybe.
Do the thing.
Anyway, the deal is done. There is nothing more to say.
Ignore that roll.
the sprite goes away.
What? Huh?
Ah, a YouTube video of Devo.
I misclicked.
What did you roll?
A weapon.
Duh?
His do it point.
You just want me to ignore that, huh?
Yeah, ignore it.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
He
do
didn't,
it
he didn't roll a hit or
point.
anything. I mean,
Okay.
I mean,
Alright. Alright. Well, the sprite is gone. All
I
that's
tried
left
to
is
look
the
at prayer
trio.
of healing, and I misclicked. Nick just DM'd me, do it. Kill.
Alright, so what are you doing then?
Gonna throw rocks.
Uh-huh.
You
Can I-
rock throwing contest?
Yo. All right, I'm back in.
there's only one tree in, right?
Yeah, with you.
I'm gonna. Can I just walk around behind him?
Yeah.
All right. Does he turn to face me at all?
No.
But I'm just gonna leave and try to find Malakai.
Okay. Are you walking in the direction that Malakai came from?
Where he
Are you
went? Yeah.
Yeah. A treant sticks his arms up to block your path, and all of the trees around you stick their arms up to block you. And then he says, "This is the Queen's private garden."
Give him a gold piece.
How dense are the trees around here?
Very.
So,
Where's the
like
nearest?
kill
Were we in a
foliage
clearing
spell.
back there?
No. I'm just too lazy to make a million trees.
There's a million billion trees in this forest.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and it
try.
is
I'm
very
gonna try to
dense.
fly straight up and get around them. Get over them.
Make an acrobatics check with disadvantage.
Okay. Nat 20 and 11 for 19.
19.
11 plus 8.
You are able to fly up. He is going to try to stop you.
Yeah.
Okay.
This time it's bone snapping when a tree
That's a
grabs
26 and a 15.
To hit?
Yep.
One of them, the first one does.
20 bludgeoning damage as this
Go.
hand smacks you back to the ground, and you crumple to the floor.
Do we see this happening?
You hear it because it goes, and he goes.
Whoa, what was that?
If I use the disengage action, would that change anything?
No.
Okay.
Did you guys hear that? Hey, mister, what was that? I look at the tree.
What, this tree?
Yeah.
He looks over and goes, And he makes this exact face, which unfortunately the stream won't get it. He looks over like,
I'm gonna go investigate the noise then.
alright. Bubbletop goes over to investigate the noise. Is Vesper still
There's
crumpled
a
on the
dead
ground?
fly on the ground.
He probably got the wind knocked out of him at the
Alright.
very least.
Alright.
What happened to you, bud?
He tried to enter the Queen's
You know, like, show him your crab claws.
private garden.
What, you hit him?
No one is allowed in the Queen's private garden.
That seems kind of mean.
They were.
I'm
It
going to
is
heal.
only the rules.
I'm going to heal him using. Where is it? Huh? Yeah, you get 25 hit points.
Is he alright?
Yeah, he's fine.
Good.
I'm getting there.
I casted Channel Divinity on you. What, did he hit you?
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry.
half of it was the falling, which was kind of my bad.
You need to follow the rules.
What are the rules?
No one is allowed in the Queen's private garden.
Can I go in?
No.
What if we both
not
went
with.
in?
I'm not with them.
No one is allowed in the Queen's private garden.
Well, she took the one guy.
there's-
I'm kind of like him, so you should let me in.
Only the Queen may invite people into her private garden.
Well, we were invited.
Hmm? Roll for persuasion. Or roll for deception, I mean.
Wow, okay, that's the difference between a +1 and a -2, so, nat 20.
You got a
Minus
nat,
2.
you got a nat 20?
Yeah.
Oh, this is such a bad idea, though.
Listen, that man
Alright.
is my king, okay?
The other treant walks over and he says,
Oh, does this mean I'm unsupervised?
"Invited?
Or
You are
or my duke or
unsupervised.
something, I don't know.
They
I'm
say they are
I'm breaking into the
invited
woods.
to the Queen's private garden. They were not invited to the Queen's private garden.
If
I
start,
did
like,
not
slithering
think
around like a
they
snake.
were invited. You may slither. You and Luke
Alright,
Cassio.
I'm
Make
slithering
a-
past them like a
Make,
snake.
make stealth checks.
Make snake checks.
Stealth
Alright.
checks.
I mean, in the beginning, the reason I asked him if he turned around was because I was hoping to give them an opening, but then he didn't, so I just went.
Yeah.
I got a 12 on snake checks.
It's pretty terrible.
What
You
if,
step on a
what if I
bunch
was
of
sitting there and I started
twigs.
slithering? You know,
The other treants just kind of look over at you while you're walking and
yeah, but I
scurrying.
keep moving because they think I'm a snake.
I mean, they don't stop you because there's just a wall of trees eventually. Just for
Slither
reference,
past.
I guess I should do this so you guys know, like, this is the situation, alright?
Yeah, I can easily get past that.
Uh-huh.
Observe.
Easily. He can get past it easily, he says.
You have very little options.
You
Okay.
heard the man.
So go ahead. Go ahead. Try to get past it.
I have a feeling he hasn't checked campaign chat in a second.
I have not checked campaign chat in a second. Is it a gun?
There's a tree man.
It's just- you have very limited options.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Are you trying to sneak past?
I'm slithering past. I think I'm a snake. It's quite simple.
Just hear a man army crawling past.
So, I would like to confirm you are attempting to cross this.
I'm about to like take 49 damage.
If you know what's about to happen, why are you doing it?
Because I'm a man of ideals.
22 to hit.
16 bludgeoning damage. Luke Cassio is not doing what you just did.
There's a man like crawling across the ground and then
Luke
there's a guy
Cassio goes,
following him.
Yo, Crotcher just got bodied. Can somebody get over here?
Just pick him up, he's fine.
What if I get hit by the tree thing?
Grab him by the sleeve. Come on.
He drags Crotcher away. I don't think he's good. I think he broke at least 7 ribs. Guys, could you heal him?
I'm gonna cast healing word
What if we
on Roger.
What if we make a really big slingshot?
Roger, you get 11 points.
I already
You,
tried going over.
Yeah, but did you try going through it?
Okay, where are you gonna get the lumber for the slingshot?
Ooh, I have a plan,
Uh-oh.
I have a shovel.
You know how long it takes to dig a hole?
There's the age-old adage. Can't
At
go
this
over it,
point-
can't go through it, we gotta go under it.
At this point, we just pull out fire and
Oh, we threaten them? I
they
like this
will-
idea too.
No, there's no kill all the sprites. Did you get your 11 hit points, Nick?
Yeah.
Good boy.
I could cheat and get another 11 though if you want.
So how goes our persuasion attempts?
They didn't work.
That's it. Did you get one of those 3?
Meanwhile,
I think I have persuaded him not to have my height, but not to pulp me, but
oh no, the visitor escaped. Where's he going?
That's a no. We can't get through.
No one may enter the Queen's private garden.
But what if it was
Please?
the public garden?
What if he's in danger though?
what if she's in danger?
Oh yeah. What if she? What if? Oh, what if Malakai is bad and she's in danger? Can we save her?
That's what we're saying.
The Queen
Wow, we
has
don't wanna-
instructed that only her private guard
He could
may
be a villain.
escort her.
She has a
Is she
private
with-
guard and escort her.
The private guard escorts the Queen, and the private guard only.
It's great news. Where is he?
Who?
The private guard.
Guard is plural in this case.
Well, where are they?
With the Queen.
I thought she was alone with what's his face.
The trees begin to laugh. No.
Well, how do you know she's safe? What if all the guards are dead?
That would be bad.
You should go help her. We'll stay here.
The queen has ordered that only her private guard may escort her.
What if we're the private guard?
You are not the private guard.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
What if we're in
Are you
disguise?
sure about that? I got 12 nature check.
Nature.
Because he's a tree, duh.
Uh-huh.
Here's the tree, all right.
Still waiting for the logic train to arrive, huh?
Is Roger digging a hole? Are you digging a hole?
Sure.
Are you sure?
Fine, I'm not doing
Okay.
Quick, while the dam's not looking, dig the hole! Dig the hole!
See? I got these and these per tree ant. And then, let me show you
stealth
this.
check from
Every
the,
hit is these. Okay?
I don't know what those are because they're too small.
I rolled a stealth check though
You're
from
shooting me
you,
through
so...
a PlayStation 3 camera.
Your PlayStation eye does not have enough pixels for you to properly count the sides of that die.
Oh god, it's an 8-sided die.
No.
It's a 6-sided die.
I know.
3d6 plus 6 per hit
Oh, it's a sad
times 12 tree ants means don't try to fight me because you will get TPK'd.
Oh yeah?
That's what I'm gonna do.
I
I'm
think
gonna
we can
open
take
up-
them.
I'm gonna open up my little...
If I cause a fire.
I'm not one to railroad. However, you're being railroaded. Because this is stupid.
14
14 what?
on my die that I just rolled.
For what?
Because it was on my table.
Congrats.
Did it work?
Nope.
Oh.
What are you guys
If I
doing?
offer him this bag of chips.
Alright, how many hit points does Trina have? What's in that book?
Check the book. No, go ahead. I'll give you the stat block. This is one of the rare instances where I'll give you the stat block so you guys don't do what you're about to do, you freaking retards. Here you go. All right.
138.
Hit points.
Now,
So what's
let's
that,
get a
like over a
damage roll
couple
to the-
thousand?
Okay, 138, right?
Alright,
Multiply
so-
this by
So you
12.
gotta pop one of
Alright,
these.
and here's all
Okay, if it's
of
got a
these.
vulnerability to
that's
fire,
It can
that
do
means
this.
it deals double damage, right?
So Sacred
So,
Flame.
from 138. Now, Sacred Flame's radiant, I believe.
Figure
That
Flame
was
Sacred
is
really
Flame
radiant.
is
weird.
radiant. Sacred
So,
Flame
but
is
what if we
radiant.
I
just
have
cause
a
regular
torch
fire?
on me.
My mace
Ooh.
does 1 damage. My crossbow is gonna do
My
3
mace
damage.
does 1 damage.
My fist does 1 damage.
Listen,
With
I could
wounds, so I
I
throw
could
that in there
stand
another
back
time.
a bit,
Why
do
not?
46 plus 1d8 plus 5, but like, I don't know if that's gonna cut it.
What if I spit on them?
I'll
Now,
just
I guess I
spawn
can
more.
count. There's about 30 of them.
I'll just spawn.
There's literally,
then-
there's literally
And
a
then
button.
the great 7-day battle
There's
occurs.
literally a button where I can spawn more. Okay? See this? See this? See
Yeah, but they have
this?
intelligence and charisma
Only
score
the
of 1.
little
This-
lamb
it
action
doesn't matter.
option.
That's all I need. This is it. You lose.
Nah, and then 7 days we fought.
So how's Malakai doing?
We're not checking on
Alright,
Malakai
I guess
right
we
now.
wait.
We're seeing.
gotta wait.
I'm waiting for you guys to stop trying to go to war.
Well, then get to Malakai then.
Alright. No, because I'm ending the session here.
No.
Stop it!
Next time on Dragon Ball Tree.
Alright. Well, that was interesting. That was quite the stand down.
Alright, I'm gonna get back to crafting.
I should have known we shouldn't trust Luke Cassio.
What do
It's-
you?
it's all
Sometimes
his
nothing to do
fault.
with it.
Sometimes when you got an NPC with you and he's like, "Hey, maybe something's wrong," you should usually listen to the NPC. But in this case, Luke Cassio, no, never listen to that man.
Uh huh. Alright. well,
Crafting.
Perfect. What an interesting turn of events.
So,
Says the man at the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I don't know how the magic works, but does she have my consent?
Um.
Whoa, Trevor. Whoa.
She makes consent.
Listen, that doesn't work in a court of law. I've tried it.
Wait.
What?
That's on the recording now.
Oh.
You could refuse, but you won't refuse because of the implication.
Oh no,
That's
no,
true.
don't reference
Because
that.
then the hot air balloon will crash.
Don't reference that. All right, I'm ending the recording. Y'all's.
Well, no,
we're
it's
done.
not wrong. It's just that she
We're
won't
done.
say no.
We're done. We're
Because
done.
of the implication.
We're done.
You can't just
I am
end it.
ending-
What,
I'm
you gonna
ending-
kick us out of your house?
I'm gonna kick you out of the recording. We're done. Session 33.
Oh, yeah.
Think about
over.
it. He's
Can't
out in the
stop
middle of
me.
nowhere
No.
with some chick.
All right, Trevor's address is